everybody. Thank you guys for tuning into the delayed but still on time stream. How's everybody doing? Thank you guys for joining the RWBY Volume 6 Chapter 8 live stream discussion. Appreciate you guys being here.
This is going to be composed of a few posts due to how long it is, so please bear with me. I almost collided with a drunk driver last Sunday night, and it made me realize how short life is.
Oh god, that's terrifying. Hopefully you're okay. Gather yourself. That could be really scary. I've never been in a situation like that, but that's quite a way to start off the stream. But Eric, thank you so much for the donation. I hope you're not too riled up about that. And welcome to the stream as well, guys. Appreciate it. Hold on. Someone said my
boys. I really enjoyed this episode, especially the talk with Maria and Ruby. And the Red Like Roses Part 1 in the background smile.
Joey, thank you for the 11 months resubbing on Twitch. Appreciate it.
Sitting in my car, my hand placed against my chest, feeling my heart pound rapidly, I thought of all my regrets, my dreams, my family, my life itself. I really want to go to RTX, but I don't make enough money nor save enough.
Yeah, that seems like a really stressed situation for sure. I hope you're okay. Like legitimately, I hope you're doing all right after that. I mean, the holidays are right around the corner, so, you know, hopefully you can kind of, like you said, if you're thinking about all those things, you know what I mean? Like every day matters, every second matters.
I'm going to a local convention with friends, and even then I'm spending a lot of money. I'm asking that the next time you go to RTX, please talk to the cast of RWBY for me. Talk to Bernie, Barbara, Miles.
Oh yeah, I mean I go all the time.
Christmas and New Year. Keep up the amazing work.
Oh my gosh, there's so many chats coming in. Zombie, thank you for the 11 months as well, subbing to Twitch. Appreciate it, man. Oh my god, slow chat or whatever it's called. Well, I don't put in slow chat right off the bat just because.
Tell them that I have such a fantastic imagination. I do. So much so that I can keep my mind focused on one story. And that I have ideas I'm willing to share. Let them know that I can do a mighty fine Irish accent if they need that.
Yeah, RWBY isn't really up to like taking pitches, especially at RTX, but I mean, it's a thing for sure. Slow down the chat. I can't. No. I don't slow down the chat until the discussion starts. So, and I do want to try to get into the discussion though, EDH.
But most of all, tell them to cherish what they have. I would love to go to RDX to meet people that have made me eager to wake up and watch their content, but all I can do is have a proxy expresses my gratitude for me.
No, I definitely will. I mean, I might be well known in the community, but I'm just an extension of the community. You know what I mean? Like, I watch the show just like you guys do. I react the same way you guys do, or the same way a lot of you guys do based on the comments that I get. So, like, I am very much, like, I guess, a vocal representation of the community in some way. Oh dear.
I found your channel back
I don't want too much spam.
I've watched your videos
I do want to try to say hi to everybody else in the chat.
Fantastic, and no matter what happens, I want you to be proud of what you do and your followers.
Absolutely. I do appreciate the donations, EDH. I don't want to kind of like spend too much time on the donations just because there are other people in the chat as well. And I do kind of want to brush up on a few things really quick. I have a few things that I want to mention for those of you guys who may or may not know. Also, this is probably going to be a really quick stream because A, the chapter is super short, and B, we're not getting a chapter this weekend. So, really quick, what's going on, Red? Well, the stream just started. I will say thank you guys. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. I do appreciate it. What are your opinions on talk?
Love yourself and those who know and care for you. Thank you for listening to this selfish babbling
and interrupting you like crazy. Nah, I appreciate it.
Interrupting you like crazy.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much for like, especially like you said. I know you're kind of rustled up about the close call that you had, and I understand that, but I definitely appreciate it. Be sure to kind of like look after yourself, especially it's the holidays. You know, this is definitely the time to kind of ease up, relax, spend time with friends and family, be thankful for what you have, the people in your life, all that stuff. So I definitely appreciate it as well. And again, thank you for joining the stream. I do want to say no more interruptions, please, because I do want to try to get through a few things really quick. No. SD, I genuinely mean that. I only clipped 30 images today. So unless I go on a ramble, this should probably be a relatively easy stream. But first and foremost, how's everyone's week been? I don't know if kids are out of school yet. I think today was the last day before Christmas break. So if people are in school or whatever, I think today was the day that Christmas break starts for a lot of people. If you're an adult, you know, there's never a break, you know what I mean? So, school's out? Okay, now that's cool. Yeah, I know a lot of people just recently had finals, or, you know, they're getting off of school break, like for the holiday break and whatnot. I know some people are traveling, some people aren't able to be here because, you know, they're catching up with friends and family, traveling for the holidays. Christmas is next week, I believe. Yeah, well, not I believe, it is next week. Christmas Eve is on Monday, Christmas Day is on Tuesday. So I'm going to probably stream on those days. I'm probably going to play Super Smash Brothers with viewers. I know some people are getting Smash on Christmas. So I'm obviously going to spend like the morning like at my mom's house. My mom works on both days, unfortunately, so I'm not going to be able to be with her as much. I'm going to see my brother and stuff. My friends and my brother actually came over this week to play Smash Brothers again. So for the most part, it's just going to be a chill kind of week for me. I have a few things on the back end that I'm going to be working on. This week, we're not getting a RWBY chapter, so the next 7 days is actually going to be, like, really good for me, so I can kind of catch up on other things while we wait for RWBY to come back after the holiday break. But, how long has this been going on? I've been streaming for 10 minutes. There was a little bit of donations at the beginning, and now I'm kind of just, you know, chatting with you guys in the chat here before we get into the general discussion. But like I said, I clipped about 30 images for the chapter. There was only really 3 big scenes that happened. So if anything, it's going to feel more like a recap. I guess I can discuss it from your guys' perspective based on, you know, my experience and my reaction. And, you know, that's going to be out tomorrow for you guys. I actually still haven't I've edited the reaction. I haven't uploaded it yet to YouTube, so you guys probably haven't noticed the premiere upload just yet. So I'm gonna upload that tonight.
What's up?
And that
Yo.
should be up for tomorrow. ABs, thank you for subbing 4 months on Twitch. Appreciate it. What's up, man? Or what's up, yo? But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it should be a relatively easygoing, chill, relaxed stream. We have about 500 people in here right now as well. So really quick, first things first, for those of you who haven't heard about it, for those of you guys who don't know, I don't think I'm gonna make a YouTube video on it because it goes into effect tomorrow and it was announced last week. But for those of you who don't know, tomorrow there will not be a Chapter 9 does not come out tomorrow for first members. Tomorrow is a holiday break for Rooster Teeth. It is the holiday weekend leading into Christmas. So they usually do this every year. They usually take off the weekend before or the weekend of Christmas, to kind of, for the crewbie to kind of travel and, you know, be with family and stuff like that. And as a result, we are not getting a chapter tomorrow. And I guess that's good for all of us, myself included, because that means I don't have to record anything or do anything of that nature tomorrow like I usually do, because I'm kind of like in a rhythm or in a routine when it comes to RWBY. So tomorrow, no chapter for first members. If you are a non-first member, Chapter 8 comes out tomorrow on the Rooster Teeth site for the public, so you guys can watch that. My reaction will go up as usual at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on my channel as well. And so this is the last live stream discussion of 2018. The next live stream discussion will actually be on January 3rd, 2019. So that's going to be going into Chapter 9. So this is the last live stream discussion of 2018. So first and foremost, I hope you guys have a happy holidays, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever it is you guys celebrate. And I'm obviously saying this a little bit early, but I hope you guys also have a safe New Year's especially. There's totally a chapter tomorrow. No. There will not be a chapter tomorrow. I mean, there's going to be a chapter tomorrow if you're not a first member, but there was a little bit of a confusion because I forgot, Evan Brigman, He works at Rooster Teeth. I think he's like the programmer for the website. He tweeted 2 months ago in October, like before RWBY started, he tweeted out that RWBY was originally supposed to go on break between, like next weekend, between Christmas and New Year's. So that was supposed to be on the 29th, but then I guess they rescheduled it after production had started. So they rescheduled it. So I tweeted that out in I tweeted that out in October, and now we're in December, so they ended up changing it around a bit. So there is no chapter tomorrow. Chapter 9 will actually be coming out on the 29th. So I want you guys to know about that.
Your family have a happy
I'll be mentioning that again in my reaction.
BTW, I have a pretty good idea for a RWBY meme / shitpost video. Mind if I DM it to you?
Yeah, go ahead, DM it to me. I'm always down for a shitpost idea for sure. I have to go. Have a nice stream at the airport. Mommy01, thank you very much for the super chat. Happy holidays. I appreciate you stopping by. Let's see. I watch RWBY while eating a bowl of Korean 2-time spicy Samyang noodles. It's a surprisingly good Saturday morning tradition. Interesting. That sounds really good, by the way. I love spicy food, so that sounds right up my alley. Hey Arnold, figure it was time for me to give you something in return for giving me and everyone here a great time / content. Take this $10 and treat yourself. Thank you very much, Gamer XD. Appreciate that very, very much. Thank you for the kind words. I hope so. I'm doing something really special at the end of the stream. So after the discussion, after everything is said and done, like I said, this is the last discussion of 2018. I am going to be making a video about this formally, but for those of you guys who stick around, or for those of you guys who will be around at the end of the stream, I kind of want to do something a little interesting, or something, I guess, special in a way to commemorate the end of 2018 for you guys. It's not going to be anything super crazy or grandiose. It's just something that I thought of like 30 minutes ago before I decided to stream. So yeah, that's going to be I'm going to be doing something a little neat for you guys at the end of the stream here. I intentionally did not intentionally did not like the start of the chapter because I thought winter. Yeah, dude, if you see my reaction, I was literally like, okay, they said commanding officer, they said we'll go and fetch her. It was like 2 and 2. I was like, okay, it's definitely winter. And then you had this freaking short ass lady show up, and I wasn't disappointed. I was just like, really? Like, that was the ultimate debate. Like, they knew everyone was expecting winter. And I thought it would have made perfect sense, right? Because winter is one of Ironwood's best. She was already stationed in Mistral, so it would make sense, instead of her having to go all the way back home to Atlas, to just have her go to the nearest military base and hold down the fort while things are kind of happening with the embargo and things of that nature. But yeah, like, they called her back, which I'm really... And it was another thing, too, because, like, we saw Neptune again this year. We haven't seen him in a really long time. We got to see him. We hadn't seen him since Volume 3, and I thought it would have been cool to have the same treatment for Winter after not seeing her since Volume 3 either, especially in the Maya engine. And, you know, Weiss would have been there. It would have been a great reunion. And Crow was there, too, and everyone thinks that there's some history between them. So I thought it would have been cool to have Winter, but unfortunately, we all got debated on that. But like I said, I wasn't disappointed. I was just like, I was expecting her, and we got someone else. I still think it's interesting that we got this new character, especially since her and Maria have history. But yeah, I was expecting Winter for sure. Winter is not coming, exactly. Macavar, you are absolutely right. So without further ado, I don't want to delay. I don't want to hold up anyone else any more time at this point. Ian! Awesome live stream discussion on my birthday. Dude, happy birthday. How old are you, man? I haven't talked to you in a while. I know you haven't been able to catch the Discord discussions when RWBY comes out, but because I know you live on the West Coast now. But dude, happy birthday. You're 25. Oh god. I remember when I was 25. Dude, happy birthday, man. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the super chat and for the support. This entire year, especially.
What an underwhelming chapter.
Oh, Winter, I'm sorry. Thank you for the $30 donation. What an underwhelming chapter. Let me guess, because Winter wasn't in it? Oh gosh. K Aaron, thank you for the 5 super chat. My theory was definitely my theory was wrong. Like, I made a theory after chapter 1 of this volume about Maria's semblance possibly being able to communicate with the dead. Dead theory. Fucking dead. Dead and gone. Dead and buried. I still like the effort that I went into with, like, thinking that far outside of the box with it, but, you know, it is what it is. But anyways, like I said, we're gonna start the discussion now, so slow chat will be enabled. As usual, 1 comment every 45 seconds, just so there's not so much craziness and mayhem going on. Again, thank you guys all for tuning in. I know it's a really, like, I know it's, like, right before the holidays, and I know a lot of people are kind of, like, all over the place with their time and their schedule, so I do appreciate you guys, for tuning in, with all that. Are the mods on slow-mo too? I don't know. I don't know if mods are immune to slow chat, but let's see. My theory was definitely wrong, LOL. I just hope we see Penny's father. I'm pretty sure Penny's dad will be an Atlas, so it's almost, like, inevitable. I think that we'll see him, or we'll definitely see him. I think it would be crazy to go to Atlas and have no inkling at all of, like, Penny or her dad or the production or, like, her creation or anything like that. Especially since she was, like, this Atlas super weapon. Rosa Lopez, glad to be here, Murder. Can't wait to get started. Well, without further ado, we're gonna be starting up right now. So thank you very much, Rosa, and for everyone else for tuning in. Appreciate it very much. So, this chapter, man. Again, really quick, no chapter tomorrow. So, these guys. So, right off the bat, we started immediately where the last chapter left off. I guess the rest of the crew is actually there. It wasn't just Team RWBY showing up like the last chapter ended. I guess they did that for dramatic effect, but I was like, where is everybody else? So, the whole squad's there. Clearly and again, I thought in my head, I was like, if Winter's there, it's easy to understand why they didn't let Team Juniper through, right? Because I don't think Winter has really interacted with anybody else in Weiss's, like, circle of friends besides RWBY. And because Weiss and RWBY weren't there, it would have been easy to suggest, okay, yeah, she turned them away because she doesn't know who they are, whatever. Even if she gave them that information, even if they gave her that information that they knew her. So then, like, when Weiss gets there and RWBY gets there, I'm like, okay, Winter's there. This will work because, you know, it's her sister, and Crow's there. He has credentials, you know, he actually, you know, knows people. And, no, we got these goons, which they're called Nabuk guards. They're voiced by Kyle Phillips. I don't know. I didn't do the research in time to see who Kyle Phillips was. I thought it was, when I first read it, like, I knew there was a Kyle that worked at Rooster Teeth. I believe he works on Backwards Compatible, but that's not the Kyle. I think that's Kyle Taylor. So I don't know who Kyle Phillips is, if he's like a voice actor or if he's just here for like a contract gig for voice acting. But I do know the lady that voiced Cordovan is actually Mela. I forgot her last name, but she does a lot of voice acting work. She does a few dubs, certain anime. But yeah, Nabuk guards. Nabuk is a type of boot. I don't know if it's a type of boot or if it's a type of material used primarily for boots. But these guys are basically foot soldiers, essentially. And I love how they interact. Like, I forgot the kind of guards that they remind me of. But the one thing that stood out to me was when they turned around and they're like, hup, 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 and they started walking away. I don't know what it is, but that reminded me of something. Oh yeah, Mela Lee. There you go. That's who it was.
Silver Eyes, a gift from the god of light.
Oh, you're jumping up ahead, buddy.
A gift from the god of darkness. Explains why RWBY's silver eyes affected Cinder, Grimarm notwithstanding.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to that, Anonymous Gamer. You definitely jumped to the end of the chapter there, but I appreciate the donation. We're definitely going to talk about Silver Eyes, and that whole backstory from Maria. Let's see. As somebody who's in the as someone in the army, as someone who stood gate watch, as someone who's had to turn people away, I wanted to kill those gate guards. Oh dear, were they not up to code? Was it not? Did they not go by the book? Was that not like textbook guard watch? I assume you know better. Your Jean Ozpin Salem theory is holding up quite well so far. I'm going to treat it as postulate until it's explicitly debunked. I'm surprised, to be honest. I'm surprised. That theory has over 100,000 views. That's my most viewed theory that I've ever made, and this year was really the year that I broke into making theory videos. So I'm actually really surprised that it hasn't been debunked, but it hasn't been confirmed either. I'm still holding out, like, because that was like a theory that I made in like the middle of the night. I was like, I was just like on another level. I had just drank a can of Red Bull, and I was just like going crazy with speculating. So I hope to an extent that theory is somewhat valid. Can someone explain the theory really quick? I made a theory. It's called like the duality of Jean Arc, and it basically poses the theory that Jean's family is like a direct or a distant lineage of Salem's family, or Salem's bloodline, or Salem's lineage or royalty or history or whatever you want to call it. And there's a bit of compare and contrast that I make in that video. It goes more in depth. It's a 6-minute video, so if you want, you can check it out whenever you have time. But it has over 100,000 views. I'm super proud of it, super happy with it, and I hope it stands up at some point. So yeah, one thing that I loved about this engagement, or this interaction at the beginning, was Maria. I love the facial expressions. I love her gestures, and like it just talks in general about world building aspects. Like she's like, oh, you can't bring nuts on a plane, and if you do, you get sent for additional screening. So I'm loving Maria more and more. She's adding a lot of comedic value, or comedic relief to the gang, because, you know, that used to be Jean in like volume 1, but he's like this dark, edgy, kind of stern character now, who's had like all of his fun and light and love sucked out of him by everything that's going on. And everyone's kind of down in the dumps in general, so I love that Maria's able to kind of bring the sass. She's able to bring the I guess she kind of levels out the doom and gloom of things that are going on right now. I really like her. And we also got history of her badassery, like her sights and everything. So I just liked this. I just wanted to highlight this moment here, because I think since like volume 2, 3, I've always mentioned the facial gestures and just the I guess the lifelike demeanor that the characters have more and more with every volume. And obviously this volume looks the best by far. And I don't know, this scene stood out to me more than anything, so I definitely wanted to show it off. Yeah, she's definitely the comedic relief we need. You know, she's not above snapping at any of the characters if they give her shit, especially Yang, who's had 1 or 2 comments to say about her, and she instantly gets shut down by Maria, which is great. And then even in this moment here, she's talking to Cordo, and she's like, I see you still got that stick up your ass, and she, like, obviously she gets cut out, but, like, that's the level of no chill that Maria has that I absolutely love about her. I really hope she doesn't die, and I feel like that might end up coming to fruition in the future, because she's so likable right off the bat. She doesn't really give any reason for us to not, at least for me, to not like her. I know there are some people that, you know, obviously have their gripes with her, or, you know, whatever the case might be. I think Vexed, I think you said something about her on Twitter, so I'm not sure. I just see a lot of like positive things about Maria, especially with developing and helping RWBY grow as a silver-eyed warrior. So I really, really like her. Yeah, that's the name. We need more Whitley. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm also really looking forward to seeing Whitley. Probably next volume if they don't make it to Atlas this year. I don't know how they're going to make it to Atlas, especially if this is the only way they can do it, unless they break into this place or steal like one of the airships and just go. So I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work out for them, but I'm interested to see how how the writers get the cast to Atlas at this point, especially with, you know, with Oscar missing at the end there. But we get Caroline Cordovan. She is a commanding officer of she's special operative, and she's the commanding officer of Argus, of the military base in Argus, who has history with good old Maria here. I'm wondering how they met, right? Because Maria talks a bit about her past, a little bit about like how like she trains with her dad and she owes her life to her training. So it seems like Maria was very I guess she was brought up to be like a huntress before that was the actual title, whereas her friend here, which they call each other enemies, but they're kind of like, I feel like they're friends, they just really hate each other. And yeah, you can definitely have friends like that, who you're just kind of like rivals, not as friendly, or they're not as friendly as the rivals you would consider, but they obviously have history. They don't really see eye to eye. Cordovan's a little taller than Maria as well, so I can see that being a part of the rivalry as well. But yeah, she is something else, this lady. She is she expresses that faunus discrimination, that faunus racism that I'm assuming is alive and well in Atlas. She is a small representation of what Weiss used to be, and I feel she's also a representation of Atlas as a whole, right? Like, Weiss also was very discriminatory against the against Faunus in general when she, like, in Volume 1, and she kind of broke from that because she kind of had a different perspective. She wasn't inside of this bubble that she was living in her whole life. She actually got to talk to people. She got to experience others' perspectives and other situations and put herself in those shoes. So then when she goes back to Atlas in Volume 4, she's like, I can't fucking stand these people. Like, you guys are crazy. You guys don't know what the hell you're talking about. I can't believe I thought like you, and I kind of, like, acted the same way these people do in Atlas. And you see it, like, despite, like, and on top of that, she has military status, so she's also, like, she's definitely on her high horse, right? She's like, oh, the citizens, everyone owes everything to Atlas. Look how big and glorious and great we are compared to everyone else. If it wasn't for us, you guys would be nowhere. So, yeah, she's definitely, she's definitely not humble, that's for sure. So, she's just not a great, like, she's a great character for the purpose that she serves, as being, like, a member, someone who represents Atlas and represents their views, especially. I'm pretty sure majority of Atlas's views and their standpoint, and especially since, like, Atlas is like, they have their back against the wall, everyone's, like, looking at them, and this reminds me, I forgot what song, well, I guess in a way it's Divide, but, like, Ironwood was always cautious, like, almost to the point of paranoia, where he brought all of his guards across the country, or across the world, to defend the Vital Festival tournament, and that backfired, and, like, to the point where he was like, dust embargoes, to the point where he's like, we're closing our borders, nobody in or out. That's, like, a level of paranoia that's a lot different from Leo. It's the same as Leo, right? He's giving in, but in a different way. He's kind of like, how do I word this? It's the same thing as Leo. Like, Leo, like, gave in. He was like, you want the key to the city? Go ahead. You want the relic? Take it. You want the tower? It's all yours. Like, that's fine. Like, it's a different type of fear. It's I guess it's fear, but having the ability to try to protect yourself at the same time, and stave off all type of blame or all type of responsibility, because, you know, it's like, I'm gonna keep me and mine safe, everyone else do what you gotta do. So and it's very noticeable for her too, because when you have Weiss, who comes in and mentions, like, or RWBY, for example, she's like, oh, we know you guys didn't do anything, we were at the Fall of Beacon, we know. And technically they weren't responsible for the Fall of Beacon, they were the security, but they got duped, right? They had Watts on their side. Watts possibly made the Queen virus, which kind of overrode the Atlas Atlas security there. So it's just like they just got outplayed. And it kind of reflects with Cordova here as well. One thing that I loved, though, you guys are gonna lose me on screen really quick here. One thing that I love is this scene right here with Nora. This just reminds me of, like, if like Nora is a beast. If you're gonna get into a scrap with Nora, just know that she's not gonna go down without a fight. To the point where Jean and Ren have to hold her ass back. I can only imagine the back and forth that Nora and Caroline had when they first showed up. To where, like, Nora's ready to throw down. And I loved this scene here, and I wanted to just feature it. Dan, you're heading out? Dude, thank you so much for tuning in, bud. Have a happy holidays. I appreciate you moderating the stream over the last year. Thank you very, very, very much, man. Have a happy holidays, and I will look forward to seeing you again in the next discussion in 2019. Appreciate it, bud. Have a good night. Yeah, and, like, Nora's like, I told you we're not leaving until you let us through, and then Ren's like, nice to see you again. Like, he's just very proper and polite, like, right? Like, Ren's, like, the ideal, like, respect your elders, Nora, and meanwhile, Nora's like, the hell with that. She disrespects me and my friends. There is no respect to be had. So I love Nora for that. And Nora especially, right? Like, you see this is definitely like a Nora moment. Nora is very sporadic, spontaneous, bubbly, energetic. I think in many ways unpredictable. And so, like, this is definitely something that you could expect. What I was really surprised by was later in the chapter when Nora, like, for the first time, we really see Nora, like, mad. And we've never really seen her react in that way. We've seen her sad, we've seen her concerned, we've seen her happy, but we're getting more layers of Nora, especially, which is really crazy to see at that point. Join the
Atlas army, but really, I don't like her at all. But now we see that Atlas thinks they're also victims of the fall of Beacon in a way.
Yeah.
Thinking fingers are pointed at them. But since the guards turned on people, I guess I see why, but still hate her.
Yeah, I mean, she's understanding of that too. It's just everyone is it's just the high tension, right? Atlas thinks everyone's blaming that. And at the end of the day, like, what's her name? Salem's getting exactly what she wants. Everyone here is divided. Atlas has no, like, everyone's pointing their guns at Atlas. Atlas is like, yo, we didn't do anything, but if you guys want to make enemies out of us, then so be it. Which is kind of, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if the next time we see Ironwood, this guy's just off his fucking rocker. This guy's like, he's not trusted. He won't trust Ozpin. He won't trust Crow. He won't trust Winter. We saw him last time with like a 5 o'clock shadow. I wouldn't be surprised if he's like full grown beard at this point. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's like him like shaking as he's like drinking coffee, like off his fucking rocker crazy at this point. And doesn't know who to turn to. Yeah, chaotic good, basically. Which is so crazy, because I got Ironwood, he's like, you know what I mean? Like, he's a headmaster, he's the general of the army, and he's under the most stress that he's probably ever been in, and he's probably beginning to crack. Which, again, like I said, only works in Salem's favor at the end of the day. Yes, please, give me full beard James. That's general, okay? I love how the guards also did that too when Crow was like, "Hey, we're looking for Ironwood. General Ironwood." And that's exactly the response that that Winter gave to Crow also, cuz Crow's not about formalities, right? He called Ironwood Jimmy in volume 3, and Winter was quick to respond, "General." Like, no, like, if you're gonna talk to this man, treat him with respect, treat him as, you know, the title is there for a reason. So, you know, people in Atlas obviously have a lot of respect for him. So, I just love that is still very much a thing. Like, everyone there is like, look, this is our general, this is the headmaster of our school, this is the leader of our kingdom, and when you address him properly. General Jimmy. Oh god, that's funny. That's great. Let's see. I thought the guards were the cards from Alice in Wonderland. I want I want the show to talk more about hereditary semblances because I have a theory. Hashtag I hope they don't kill Crow. If Crow were to die, I think he would have died at Brunswick.
Flint and Neon from the Vital Festival.
Oh, yeah.
Which brings up a good point. Why show off all those cool Hunter and Hunter students from the Vital Festival and not bring them back in later volumes?
Well, the whole point of those other students was the Vital Festival tournament. The whole point of the Vital Festival tournament is to have contestants represent their schools from other kingdoms. So even if there's no purpose of showing them off again down the road, it still made sense for the sake of Volume 3, which was the Vital Festival tournament. Also, we're most definitely going to see them again. It's just the fact that Mistral was a little bit of a gray area because Rooster Teeth, like, Miles and Carrie literally were just like, we're in and out of this place in a volume. And they didn't really do much to flush out Mistral, which I think they're kind of understanding that now with how much we've gotten of Argus. And this is like a small random city, you know, on the coast of the continent that's not really representative of any of the characters that we've seen thus far. So, unfortunately, right, like, Mistral would have been where, like, Team Sun is from, or Team Arburn, for example. So those characters we should have seen, and I was expecting to see them in Mistral in Volume 5, but we just never did. We didn't see anything of the kingdom, and it's unfortunate. So that's a missed opportunity. But going to Atlas, I expect to see Team Funky. I expect to see Penny's dad, maybe Penny if they're able to rebuild her. Mantle, hopefully. Whitley. I want to see Winter, Weiss, and Whitley's mother. Obviously, we're gonna get more of Jacques. Ironwood, and whenever we make it to Vacuo, Team Sun is going to be there with Sun, like he mentioned at the beginning of this volume, and we have a bunch of, you know, the Team Coffee is also supposedly in Vacuo as well, from the novel. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see a lot of those characters. Team Bronze is also from Shade, which is in Vacuo, so hopefully we'll see them as well. Her name is Willow. They've never confirmed the mother's name. The mother does not have a confirmed name. Willow is the name that was generated by the fandom. Yeah, they've never revealed what Mrs. Schnee's name is, or Mama Schnee, basically. Indigo's from Shade? Isn't Bronze from Shade too? But yeah, I think Indigo's from Shade. Indigo might be a little different because Indigo was literally created as an Indiegogo Kickstarter campaign. So if they decide to bring that back, they'd have to remake those models. Okay, Indigo's also from Shade. Okay, so I thought someone said Indigo was from Shade, like Bronze wasn't from Shade, but they're both from Shade. Also, Ciel Soleil, Penny's partner, at the Vital Festival tournament. Hopefully we see her again as well, because she's voiced by Issa Badiola, and Issa's works at Rooster Teeth, so it'd be great to see her again as well. That's classified. I know this is unrelated, but what's your channel art? My channel art is a default artwork that was available for my channel when I first made it 5 years ago. So I don't know what it's from. I couldn't tell you. It, like, back in 2013 when you made your channel, they gave you, like, they're like, oh, pick a default banner background, and I picked that one. So if that's what you're talking about, the banner, but my actual avatar is a picture of me that my friend K-chan made for me. So that's like what my logo is. That's like what, it's like an image of me wearing like a red, white, black, and yellow hoodie with the green background. So yeah, someone in the chat mentioned that. But anyways, this lady, am I right? This lady. And again, like, she's definitely like, I don't know, but see, that's the thing, like, I don't know what the fuck Ironwood would be thinking appointing her. I mean, if she bears results, then yeah, that makes sense. But I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, why would Ironwood appoint her to this military base? She has a very skewed idea of, like, she sees everybody else as ingrates, as, like, ungrateful citizens who only want to judge Atlas instead of praising them, you know, and basically yeah, basically just praising them for all the stuff that they do instead of them doing it out of the goodness of humanity or, you know, just protecting people, which is basically what their whole job description is. Yeah, she flexes a little bit too much. She's like, this base, that tower, everything you see before you is because of us. And you guys should be thanking us every step of the way, kissing our feet, kissing these boots, and so on and so forth. She has no humility at all. She's not humble in the slightest. And that's why I'm wondering, like, what the hell is Ironwood thinking? Winter would have been so much better for this place, and just, you know, the overall chemistry between the city and the military. It is a little at the end of the day, because it's like, again, like, if she's doing a good job, you can't argue with results. I just don't know if Ironwood's in the best mindset right now. And him appointing her could be a result of that. But yeah, she I don't want to get too political about it, but I've seen a bit of like, obviously a bunch of different things that people have said and have compared her to, which is a little, I don't think she's super extreme. I just think she's very militaristic, and she's like, you're a citizen, you're nothing official, you have no business here. My job is to not let anybody through, and that's what I'm gonna do. I don't care who you are, I don't care who you speak for. You know, if Ozpin was here, maybe that would have been different, but, you know, Crow is just like, okay, you're just a licensed huntsman. You know what I mean? So she lacks emotion, or she lacks empathy or sympathy, or she's just like a wall, essentially. Yeah, nationalist. There you go. That's patriotism, for better or worse. It's patriotism. You can't deny it. She definitely loves Atlas, and she wants everyone to love Atlas as much as she does, and she wants everyone to praise them for all the good things that they do. And yeah, and even when Weiss mentions it too, Weiss is like, look, we know you guys had nothing to do.
Would have been far too convenient for their journey that has time and time again had obstacles.
Yeah, that's true. It's just like, I would have loved to just see her, because number one, it's been like at this point, it's been 3 years since Winter has been in RWBY proper, number one. Number two, it would have been super convenient for her to just go from the kingdom of Mistral up to the coast to here, and it would have set things up well for them to get to Atlas, I guess, easily. But like you said, there's no obstacles, there's no grit, there's no trial and tribulation to getting there. So it's not going to be, I don't think it should be as easy, because getting to Mistral wasn't easy for them. So there was also that. And three, like, Weiss left for Mistral for Winter in the first place. So the fact that, you know, Weiss makes it here, and, you know, it just so happens that her sister's here, it would have just been a really happy accident that they were in the right place at the right time and linked up after so long. But yeah, she mentions it here too, and you see her expression, like the second something is said about Ironwood, like, oh, I know he's just worried. Worried, in her eyes, is a sign of weakness, and that's the last thing that Atlas is. We're not weak. We don't show emotions. We don't, like, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's all like a front, basically, to just puff out your chest and prove to people that you're not, you know, basically that you're not weak or that you're not scared. When basically that's the biggest sign of weakness, is flexing to this degree. I don't really, it doesn't really make sense for her to be away from Ironwood right now. That's true. Well, I mean, she was away initially, right? In Volume 4, when Ironwood was at the Schnee Manor, Winter was in Mistral. She was in Mistral that whole time. She was gathering intel for them, and then he was just like, he pulled all his troops out, so that's the only reason why she's not there anymore. Oh, Napoleon! I wonder if that's who she's based on. Because he's short, too. Oh, my God. Oh, that could be. Maybe. It could be like a It could be a fragment of Napoleon, based on the Oh my god, that's so cool. That would be great. That would be cool. I like that a lot. Napoleon complex, yeah. But there is a bit, I don't know what the reference they're going for, but her name is Cordovan, and Cordovan, I believe, is a material used to make boots. And the Nabuk guards, Nabuk is also a type of material or a type of boot. And Nora mentions too, like, oh well, your base looks like a big dumb boot. So they're going for like a shoe reference here, but I don't know what reference that is. People are also mentioning, and then you mentioned like the whole, like, she's super short, so Napoleon, that's something that comes into mind. Like, Napoleon, was he, what kind of authority was he? I vaguely remember Napoleon. I don't want to say he was a dictator. Was he like a, I mean, he was a leader of sorts. The old lady in the shoe? Oh, the old Mother Hubbard? Oh boy. The old woman who lives in the shoe. That makes sense, yeah. A French Revolution general. He was a dictator. Okay. Emperor. Oh, someone said emperor, someone said dictator. Kind of a dictator. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I can see it being a cross between those two things. Like, because she's military, that's the kind of mindset that she has, like a dictator, a general. She's super short, so Napoleon reference right there. And then the shoe reference could be like the old Mother Hubbard, or the mother who lives in a shoe with all her kids. I don't remember that nursery rhyme. God, that's such a... I don't think I ever... Wait, it's like, there once was a mother who lived in a shoe, something something, who didn't know what to do. I don't know it. I don't remember it at all. I don't remember it at all. But that does make sense. That does make sense. So, I just have to look more into that nursery rhyme to see if there's any connections there. Let's see. There was an old lady who lived in a shoe. She had so many children she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and whipped them all soundly and put them to bed. Yikes. Oh boy. Okay. So she's no pushover, basically. Interesting. Are you gonna do a live reaction tomorrow? My reaction's already recorded. I always record my reactions when the episode comes out. Like, I upload them on Saturdays, and you guys watch them live together, but it's always a pre-recorded reaction. There is no Chapter 9 tomorrow. Chapter 9 comes out next week. So, I mentioned that at the top of the reaction. Or at the top of the discussion, sorry. Someone just said, watch me whip. Oh, God. Let's not, please. So, again, this right here, Faunus race. Good old racism, am I right? Obviously, for the sake of the story, it's good to see, because that's been something that has been very hard, I guess maybe like a challenge for the RWBY to convey, that not everyone is nice to Faunus, not everybody has nice things to say about them, right? Weiss had a bit of that discrimination, you know, when the show started in Volume 1. We've seen little specks here and there of it, but nothing grandiose. You know, we saw a little bit of that in Volume 5 with the no Faunus sign outside of the ramen shop. We've gotten little bits of it here and there from people, like, again, just Atlas in general, like, right, like, they have the Faunus labor, and, you know, the dust mines, they're not the best conditions, like, Atlas doesn't give a fuck about Faunus, they'll use them and abuse them and discard them and whatnot, and Ilya's whole story with how the people treated her after they found out that their mother, that her parents who were Faunus were killed. So yeah, Atlas has a really bad rap with Faunus, and it's even evident here. She's like, you know, if Weiss wants to go back home, that's fine, but we're not gonna be responsible for her Faunus friends. Basically, we're not gonna be responsible for her friends because one of them's a Faunus, and we don't take too kindly to them around these parts. And I love, well, Yang was just like, what the fuck? Like, her reaction was just like, are you fucking kidding me? And I like how Weiss defended her. Because the role was definitely reversed in Volume 1, and she didn't give a shit about she talked shit about Sun. She kind of, you know, had that confrontation with Blake that she was kind of getting over as they kind of patched things over at the end of Volume 1 in the finale. But I love how now Weiss is she's such a rich character. I love it so much. I'm so proud of her. And she's like, and you saw the body language from Blake as well. Like, she didn't feel welcome, and she knew exactly what Cordovan was referring to. And she doesn't wear her, you know, she doesn't wear her bell anymore. She's not ashamed of it, but she still has to deal with it, you know. So it's great to see. Obviously, I'd like it for characters to not be racist, but it's a very relatable thing. It's a real thing that happens in the real world as well. So in some way, shape, or form, you can relate to it if you've been subjected to something like that, which is horrible, of course. But it makes the world of RWBY, the world of Remnant, more relatable. It expands that world building. It's like, if this is how people like her act and how Weiss used to act, I can only imagine what it's like walking the streets of Atlas, or walking anywhere in that kingdom or on that continent being a Faunus, or knowing someone who's a Faunus, or being affiliated with Faunus and being probably guilty by association. So, I can't even imagine. And like, no bullshit, like, I really hope someone, like, if Miles or someone is, or the Crewbie is someone's watching this, I really want them, right? We've seen how far Rooster Teeth is willing to go to hit the right tones with the show, right? At some point, they were like, look, we have to convey this to the best of our ability. We have to let Tyrion swear. We have to let Tyrion call Ruby a bitch, because that's the tone that needs to be set. We can't water it down. We can't be like, oh, you witch, or anything like that. Like, that's what it has to be. And slowly but surely, they're getting more and more mature with the tone and the language. So, as fucked up as it might sound, if they're gonna go like, how do I say this? If they're trying to express what racism is like, and what that looks like, and what that, how do I say this? Oh my god, it's so hard to say. If they're gonna do racism, like, go all in. Just go all in and make it as, like, you just have to convey it, right? We've been getting little bits and pieces here, and that's not even in Atlas. And so you'd assume Atlas is the most racist of all the kingdoms when it comes to the fauna. So it's like, if you're gonna do it, fucking do it, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of backlash. Don't be afraid of controversy. It's a real thing. And the same way that people of, you know, minorities in the real world, or, you know, people in LGBT, people, anyone who's discriminated, they know what that's like. So if they're gonna do it, I think they need to do it like, go all in. Don't be afraid. And that will, I think, reflect really well in the show, and especially how the characters react and respond to it. Now, I'm not sitting here saying every single person in Atlas needs to be a racist son of a bitch. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, like, this is presumably the kingdom who has the highest concentration of racism and discrimination against the fauna. So if this is where we're going, and this is where we're going to be spending like a volume or 2 volumes, you know, in the future, you need to really execute and capitalize on that. Because if we leave Atlas and we're like, it wasn't that bad, that's going to look poorly on just the whole concept of discrimination, of the Faunus discrimination, the White Fang, the civil war between them, and stuff like that, the civil discourse and all that stuff. So, again, I never thought I'd be like, I want more racism in my show, but they've tried to do it, and it's worked here and there, but it hasn't.
Wasn't there a Faunus on Team F and KY?
Yeah, there was. The difference there is, right, so the anthology hits on this a lot, and obviously we don't know shit about Team Funky, so it's very hard for us to kind of be like, well, look at Neon Cat. She's from Atlas, and she seems fine. Neon Cat literally lets nothing bother her. she knows what happened. She knows the position that she's in. Like, the From Shadows anthology, she has like a one-on-one with Blake, right? And they're completely polar opposite. They're both Faunus. Blake deals with how she feels about being a Faunus, being in the White Fang, being discriminated against. And then you have Neon Cat, who's a Faunus just like her, has the same level, is targeted the same way as Blake, but she's literally smack dab in the middle of it all. And Neon Cat is very much like the song, right? Never Miss a Beat. Like, she doesn't let anything bother. She doesn't let anything phase her. She's just like, I'm gonna live my life. I'm gonna skip to the beat. Anyone's gonna come at me with their bullshit, I'm just gonna like pass them by and live my life. And it's so crazy, for her especially, because it's like she could easily just be putting up a front as well, or she met other humble people, right? Like what's his name, like Flint, who was from Atlas but was probably on the poorer side, and he had a dad who owned a business, and that business ran out of town because of the Dust Company. So there's commonality there. Like I said, not everyone in Atlas is a horrible person. So again, there are definitely pockets of good in Atlas, and Neon being a Faunus, could easily be one of those pockets where maybe either A, she's never been discriminated against in Atlas, or she has, but she has good people in her life, so she doesn't succumb to that, basically. Or she doesn't let it phase her or let it get to her, despite popular belief. Hey, James! First time in the stream in a long time. Well, I'm glad to have you in here. You've made it to the last live stream discussion of 2018, so I appreciate that very much. So yeah, long story short, Atlas, I'm expecting to see the full brunt of that Faunus inequality, that discrimination, that hate, that racism that we've been getting little breadcrumbs of throughout the series. And like I said, if you're gonna go big or go home. So that's all I really want to say about that. And then Nora coming in clutch with the with the hottest burn of 2018. She's like, your base looks like a big dumb boot. And I was just like, you fucking tell him, Nora. That'll show him. That sounds weird, being the last stream of the year. Yeah, I know. I mean, these are every year, so it's kind of crazy the channel's grown so much, and I'm so proud of everything that I've made, and all the videos and streams and discussions and reactions and content that I've made over the last year. And I'm so excited to do bigger and better for 2019, especially. So, and of course, I appreciate all of you guys for making that happen. You show him, Nora. Way to show him, Nora. Yeah, I love Nora. She is such a treat. And then we got Crow. I feel so bad for this man. Like, he's not even like, he's just like, whatever, RWBY, like, whatever. It's just so sad to see. Because again, like, Volume 1 through 3, it's funny, it's a joke, he's the drunk uncle, Drunkle Crow. It was fun, it was a different tone, it was a different theme back then. It wasn't dark and gritty and real and serious. But now, when we see Crow leave and go to drink, like, we feel for that. Like, it's a bad situation, and we hate to see it happen. Because it's serious now, like, right? Like, alcoholism, like, alcohol abuse, and Crow succumbing to that after everything that's constantly happening, trying to stay optimistic, trying to stay positive, and then just freaking being rejected at every turn. It's sad to see, and even RWBY, who's very optimistic and very positive, is unable to kind of keep things together, because it happens with Crow. Ozpin left. Team Juniper is in the next scene is about to like lose their shit. And even though Team RWBY is centered, right, like, in the, for the whole Brunswick thing, like, they kind of came together and was like, look, we're unified, we're together, we can't stop no matter what, even with all this information, even though we've kind of been taken for a ride, we have to see this through to the end. We can't let Salem win. We have to commit ourselves to the goal, like, to the mission. obviously now they have to convince everybody else around them to do the same. Miles said in RWBY Rewind that he's pleased that people are irritated with how Crow's acting. Yeah, I mean, because it's like, I understand. I do. Like, I understand probably how much this guy has seen, how much this guy's been through, the people that he's had in his life, the people that he's lost in his life, and just his overall upbringings with being a curse, being a bad luck charm, not being able to distance himself, like having to distance himself from his friends, his family, his teammates, etc. And then, like, getting this massive drop on your head after so long of, like, your whole life was a lie. And all of your preconceived notions of your life and your purpose are thrown out the window, and you don't even know where to pick up the pieces of your life. And drinking was always a coping mechanism. It was a funny thing at first, you know, it's like, oh, he's drunk. He's always drunk. And it's like, yeah, I'm drinking. I'm the drunk guy. You know, I'm the drunk, cool, crazy uncle. But now it's like, it's like Crow is definitely an example of someone who can only be pushed so far. There's only so much you can handle. And at this point, I think Crow's starting to check out. And yeah, it's sad to see, because we love Crow, and I definitely appreciate and value him as a character, as a huntsman, and obviously he has history with a lot of the other characters that I hope we get, you know, interactions with, especially with Team Stark, Summer Rose, Tai Yang, his sister, and yeah, you know, like it's a sad thing to see, and you know, personally, I've also been affected by people in my life who have been, you know, who've dealt with alcohol and, you know, alcohol abuse and have been alcoholics. So seeing that as well, seeing how alcohol changes people, and seeing how it's like, it's legitimately like a poison. And it's a crippling poison as well. It's never something that's easy to go through, especially if you're someone who cares about that person. And like Ruby's trying to do stuff, you know, it's like, you can't force the guy to not go and drink. You know, you can only help people who want to be helped. There's only so much you can do, you know. Jack Blandford. Hey, Arnold, this is my first time in the stream. I love your channel. Hope you're having a great day. Absolutely, man. Welcome, first and foremost. Glad to have you in here. Rebecca, I see you in the chat. Asexual Gavin. I love him so much. I don't want him to be sad. You know, it's... And I feel like that's the trade-off, right? Since Crow's introduction, he's been the cool uncle. Like, even in RWBY Chibi, they play him up to be like this really hyperactive, like super interesting character that you just know and love, and you always know that if he's in a scene, it's gonna be a good one. And now they're just like pulling it back, like pulling the reins all the way back with him, and it's like, we're gonna give you a side of him that you've never really seen him in, and you know, that's gonna be what they're tackling now. And I think that's some of the themes that Barbara mentioned. She was like, they're tackling some themes this volume that they've never worked with before, and one of them I think is gonna be mainly focused on Crow and his struggles with everything, and how he decides to handle it, and how that affects the people around him. Right? Because in the Brunswick Farms, that I think affected Ruby for the sake of, like, her uncle's drunk and she has to help him, and he's like, he can't even help himself. And Weiss as well, because Weiss has also dealt with an alcoholic mother. So that affected both of them through Crow, even though Crow isn't really anything to Weiss other than like a mentor of sorts for the mission that they're going on right now. So again, I do like the themes that they're tackling. They're very real, they're very grounded. I think this probably hits a lot of people close to home who can put themselves in Ruby or Weiss's shoes when it comes to what Crow goes through. So I like it. I like it. It's very, very much appreciated, and I'm glad that they're taking a more serious approach with it than anything. Yeah, a guardian. Yeah, you can call him a guardian. He's like looking after all these kids, and he's like low-key like, yo, deal with yourselves right now. I'm out of here. So again, you hate to see it happen, but at the same time, it's crucial. It's definitely crucial by you know, as the series continues, these characters are going to be pushed to the brink. They're going to evolve. They're going to grow. In order for them to shine, they got to be fucking thrown into the ringer. They got to be like dirtied and muddied and battered and bruised in order for them to shine that, you know, by the end of the show, you know, you want to obviously look back at the tough times that they went through to kind of really appreciate and value who they are, you know, in the future. I just really hope Crow doesn't die. I mean, and I'm not gonna ham up this whole, oh, Crow's gonna die thing, because people have been saying Crow's gonna die for like 3 years now, right? Volume 4, they said the Crow was gonna die. Volume 5, they didn't really say Crow was gonna die, but it's like, it was still like a theory, like, oh, by the end of it, and like now they're, you know, that's being brought up again. So I'm not gonna jump on like the whole Crow's gonna die, or I think Crow's gonna die, but if Crow dies, I don't think it'll be this volume. I think if he does die, which is very plausible, it'll probably be like in the heat of battle or in the future once shit really hits the fan. So yeah. God forbid he dies like by himself, right? Like on some like May Hughes type of shit. I don't know how I'd feel if we knew that Crow died, but the characters didn't know that he died. That would fucking break my heart. So yeah, I hope he doesn't die. If he does die, I don't expect it to be until the future. And if he does die, I have no idea how they're gonna do that. But anyways. Let's see. No, Arnold, stop, you're hurting me. Look, we've been through a lot with this volume, right? We've been through a lot with this volume. I don't even think it's gotten to the worst yet, unfortunately. And, it's a sad thing to say. It's a sad thing to see. But, you know, we have each other to help get through it together. And that's all. I'm going to leave it at that before I, like, start freaking choking up right now. My heart. Raven was right. Yeah, Raven was 100% right at this point. You hate to admit it, but... And I think that's another thing too, right? Like, the RWBY loved the reaction of the fandom when like, Volume 3 happened. And it's just because it's like, it hit them. It made them feel something. It affected them, like, emotionally. And I think as a writer, or, like, as a team who's making a work, that's the one thing you want it to do. You want it to resonate with people on that level. And for better or worse, for the characters in the show, like... for their well-being or for you know, a lack of well-being, it's a good thing. It's a good sign. So obviously at this point, I love how they did this too, because I was like, how are they going to transition telling Team Juniper about Ozpin? And I love how they did it, because they were like, oh, if he wants to go and do his own thing, that's whatever. We have Ozpin. And I'm like, oh, fuck me. Like, that's what you think. And I like how they transitioned that, because I thought they were just going to spring it on them. Because, like, they got to the city and everyone was saying hi and everyone was touching base and they were getting introduced to this new city and Jean's family, his sister, his nephew, the wife and all that stuff. And there was, like, all this happy fun time, you know, all, like, the good feels, the good moments. And then, like, oh, yeah, by the way, we have some shit we got to tell you. And it wasn't a good one. You guys are going to lose me on screen here really quick. But this was huge. This was a really big thing. Obviously it was clear that they were gonna have to know sooner or later. But it's such a big thing because of Pyrrha. And I say this because obviously, you know, Pyrrha died wanting to do what she thought was right, you know, to protect humanity, to save humanity. And, you know, Jean being the team leader, realizing Pyrrha's feelings, you know, once it was too late to do anything about it, you know, Jean, Nora, and Ren were like, you know, we have to do this. I think in a way it's like, yo, we have to find out who's responsible. Jean also had a chip on his shoulder. Jean had revenge in mind for what Cinder did, and obviously Volume 5 was very evident of that. And it's so heavy to take in, and obviously they're reacting the exact same way Team RWBY reacted, right? They were all pissed, they were angry, they had questions, they were wondering what the hell is the point of everything, and obviously Team Juniper has to go through those emotions together now. And the reason why this scene was so this scene, like, you guys will see my reaction tomorrow, but the reason why this scene was, like, so crazy to me was because, and I mentioned this as well, is that, like, look at the situation. Look at Volume 3 and look at everything we know now. Ozpin had to tell Pyrrha a fraction of the truth. He didn't mention the relics. He didn't mention Salem. He didn't mention the gods. He didn't mention Jinn or anything. All he was like is like, hey, magic exists. If these bad people get this magic, it's gonna be bad for everyone. In Pyrrha's head, that was the worst of it. Like, it couldn't get any worse than that. And I understand, like, Crow was like, oh, we'll fill you in once we know you're with us. But at the same time, he was willing to kind of play that gamble, like, hey, we'll give her like breadcrumbs and we'll lead her this way. And that got her killed. And now his whole team knows the truth. So immediately the first thing you're going to think of is like, wow, we know the truth now. Obviously they have to still decide if they're all in or not, but like Pyrrha didn't even know the truth and she's dead. So what does that say about these characters who are now knowing the truth? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's really, and John was like, everything we did was for nothing. And it sucks because it feels like, or I think they're going to react and be like, well, they feel like they're cows to the slaughter. Because if Pyrrha did all of that and died without knowing any of this, and now these characters know the full extent of what they're dealing with, what does that say about, even more so, what does that say about Ozpin willing to do that? And willing to just be like, you know what I mean? And like, what's Ozpin gonna say to them? That's the big thing I'm wondering about. I'm wondering how long Ozpin's gonna, like, be MIA for. I don't know if it's because Shannon McCormick's unavailable to record lines, or if this is just the plot that they're going for right now with leaving everyone, you know, to fend for themselves until the time is right for Ozpin to return. But yeah, I know, you know, desperate times call for desperate measures, but it sucks when lives are at stake, right? People who are willing, like Pyrrha was willing. She was willing to help, and even then, it was still not enough for Ozpin to just be like, okay, you're gonna get into this machine. We're gonna try to rig you up and link you up and make you the maiden, and then she died. And then he's just like, oh, you know, well, flowers live and flowers die. Let's keep moving. And he just didn't say anything. He literally knew the extent of Pyrrha's death and just kept that from everyone. And now that, you know, his skeletons are out of the closet, I'd be scared if I was him too coming back, because especially for Jean, more than anything. I don't know. I think this affects them all, and especially like what Ren said. He was like, I think we all need time to think about this, and they as a team need to think about it, because I think a part of why they're still doing this is because of Pyrrha. It's like, well, she died. We have to seek out the people responsible for her death and this whole conspiracy and everything. And now all of that's thrown into question when they realize, hey, the guy we're helping kind of got our teammate killed and didn't tell us and just acted like nothing happened. You know? So yeah, you can definitely understand why they're going through the emotions that they're going through. Not even just for the fact that they were lied to about, right? Because Team RWBY was still mad, and they weren't, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't to that degree. That dynamic wasn't there for them, even if Pyrrha was a friend to them. But for Team Juniper, it's so different. And then again, you see Nora, like, mad for, like, one of the first times ever, and it's such a weird reaction for her to have, because Nora's never upset, right? We've seen her sad, right? Like, in her flashback of Kuro Yuri. You know, we've seen her in distress. You know, we've seen her distressed. We've seen her up, you know, we've never seen her angry, and seeing angry Nora was just like, oh my god, it just felt so weird to see, because we're not used to that. Ren was still very sensible about everything, you know what I mean? Like, Jean let off some steam. Jean got emotional, very understandable as well, and Ren was just like, you know, I think we need time to, and obviously that's his whole semblance, masking emotions, but at the same time, obviously he's Zen Ren. So, if anything, he's probably going to be the one to have the most cool head of everybody. But yeah, it was just sad. It was just really sad to see. Because, again, you can't like Pyrrha dying is such a big dynamic to why I think Team Juniper is even here in the first place, or one of the reasons why they're here in the first place. And then this scene really shook me up because like Jean's just like, now he's like off the hinges, like no one's gonna stop him, and I don't know, he's getting worse and worse, right? Like first, because now think about it now, like who would he be more upset with? Would he be more upset with Cinder killing Pyrrha, or Ozpin putting Pyrrha in the position to be killed by Cinder? You know, at this point, I feel like he's just as angry with both of them, or equally angry, or because Cinder isn't in the picture, all of that anger and frustration is now going to be targeted towards Ozpin, and unfortunately, Oscar's, you know, by proxy, caught up in that. So, it's, being shaken. Yeah, I made it go super fast because this was like a 16-second clip, like the slow walking and, you know, the lead up into everything. So I sped this up. So when he shakes Oscar at the end, it's a little like funny to see. Now that I'm watching it myself. Okay, this is super serious, okay? No laughing. This is no laughing matter. Stop laughing. Stop laughing at Oscar. That's not nice. But yeah, like looking at that scene, or just looking at it that way, who do you think he should be? Who do you think he's more upset with now? Do you think he's upset with Pyrrha? I'm sorry, with Cinder, who pulled the trigger and killed Pyrrha? Or do you think he should, or do you think he'd be more upset with Ozpin, who not set her up, that's kind of fucked up to say, but put her in that position to be killed? Because, I mean, at this point, that's a big part of it, in my opinion. Ozpin told her to run. It's hard, dude. Like, if you know somebody, if you know the type of person they are, you know the move they're gonna make before they make it. So even if Ozpin was like, get out of here, it's Pyrrha. You know what I mean? She's gonna do whatever she can. That's her character. That's who she was. That's what she stood for. So, in a way, you could still see it as, I don't know. You know, you could see it as like, that's maybe why he chose her. Because once she's brought with this ultimatum, this choice, at that point, she's influenced. That influence, like, telling her about the maidens, everything that happened afterwards was just an influence. Like, she was influenced by that no matter what. So I predicted... Okay, I got two. Hold on.
Hey, I rolled a little late on the Crow theories.
Nah, it's
but
fine.
What do you think of the possibility of Crow getting so drunk he mistakes RWBY for Summer, seeing how RWBY is a spitting image of her mother?
You know what? I was thinking that. I was thinking that he was gonna do that during, excuse me. I was thinking he was gonna do that during, Brunswick Farms. Like, I thought, because he was, like, talking to her. He was like, hey, what are you doing here? Like, what are you doing? Like, I thought he was just gonna be, like, talking like a drunk stupor and just be, like, refer to RWBY as Summer. I thought that would have been very interesting, because we saw little bits of that, too, like, him talking in his sleep when he was poisoned on the cart in Volume 4. And he was like, she's not coming, Ty. And he could have easily been talking about, like, Summer. She's not coming back. She left and isn't coming back because she probably died. Or talking about the fact that Raven left and isn't coming back. So that was still a little bit of, like, a history there of Crow being there for Tai Yang during that time. And I think that would be really interesting if that happens. God, Summer Rose is such an enigma right now. Like, it's a character we know nothing about, never seen, only hear about. She's like a legend herself at this point. But yeah, I hope we get something on her soon, right? Like, in a way with as much answers that we're getting and as much you know, long-awaited answers we're getting, I'm fine with it still being a little bit of a mystery. But if we get into Atlas, like, that's all Atlas stuff. That's a new arc. That's a new plot point. So at the very least, give us something on Summer this volume. Please, I'm begging you. At least to hold us over until it becomes relevant again in the future. Because, right, like, we got the Ozpin and Salem backstory. We learned more about the Silver Eyes this past chapter. You know, obviously, RWBY is getting a shit ton of development, a shit ton of characterization, and growth. And we're seeing that almost every chapter, and it's great to see. You know, she's been very underdeveloped, I would say, and a lot of people would say very underdeveloped since the show has started, despite being the team leader of RWBY, being, in many people's eyes, the main protagonist of the show. So we're getting a lot of stuff already, so I don't want to, like, you know, like, there's a lot of stuff that we want, but as long as we're getting a lot of these, you know, right, we're going down the list, it's going to happen. It's not a matter of if, but when. So yeah, Jean here, man, very sad to see, because, you know, he's had his fair share of troubles, and it's so, go back and watch chapter 2 of volume 1. Fuck, dude, like, that Jean is dead and gone, dude. Like, Jean in a way died himself after, so, like, over time, like, that Jean is just dead. It's so weird going back and watching volume 1 and seeing Jean then and seeing him now. He's like a different person. It's crazy. And it's just like, again, you get tossed through the ringer every so often. It's gonna happen to you. He's still the vomit boy in our eyes, you know, obviously for nostalgia's sake and because RWBY's scroll won't let us forget. But yeah, just like Jean in particular, like, he was just so goofy and uncoordinated, and he's just like a hopeless romantic, and now he's just like, he's not about, you know, he's not about, like, wooing Weiss anymore, or not about being, like, a doofus or fun, you know what I mean? It's so different. I love it. It's just different. Crazy. But yeah, here, I liked this scene too. Like, obviously they all just go up into the room and talk amongst themselves. One thing though, the shot here for Jean as he's going up the stairs, right there, his foot skips 2 steps, and that annoys me. I don't know why. It's just like, why did they skip 2 steps? Because, like, all of his other feet, it's such a nitpick, but all of his other feet, like, from, like, the way that you see the animation, all of his other feet leading up to that, like, step for step, and then he just jumps 2 steps. I'm just like, why did he do that? So yeah, I don't know. Again, nitpick, who gives a shit, right? It's just something I noticed that I can't unsee that. Like, every time I see it, I see him go over 2 steps. But yeah, what are you gonna do? You don't walk 2 steps? I don't go up the stairs 2 steps at a time. It's just like all of his other feet go up step by step, and then that one is just 2 steps. I'm just saying. He wanted to leave faster. Yeah, see, oh my god, now I can't unsee it. I told you. Hey, if I'm gonna be stuck in that, you guys are too. Let's see. Okay, so let me try catching up with a couple of these super chats, because I know I've been neglecting these. I'm sorry. Makes you rethink Hazel's position knowing more. Yeah, like, imagine how much Salem's squad doesn't know, right? And Ozpin, what Ozpin's doing, or what Ozpin basically did up until now, probably exactly what Salem is doing with her squad. Like, they're not good guys, but at the same time, she's like, I'm not gonna just straight up tell them everything. I'm not gonna tell Hazel probably the truth of his sister, or maybe more details behind that, right? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Salem was just like, yo, Grim, go kill his sister, and then that way I can get another pawn for my plans, and another enemy against Ozpin. And again, like, Hazel, you would have to understand, for Hazel, it's like, your sister died in a training mission. If she died against Grim, you're working with the leader of those enemies that killed your sister, even if Ozpin was the catalyst for why she was in that position in the first place. You know, you go back to the whole thing. Let's see. So I predict Oscar trying to run when he said, "I want to stop this," when he raised his, when that raised my brow. But his question to Maria, "How does a legend disappear?" I knew he was gonna run. He needed a push. I mean, I think those are situational. I can definitely see him say, like, "I want this to stop," is like, you know, the kid's hitting his limit at this point. And it's just like, now he's being targeted by someone as the source of the issue. Like, the kid got thrown into this situation. Oscar is the victim of everything in this. Oscar has nothing to do with any of this by any means. And he's in this whether he likes it or not. So yeah, what happened in this scene to him is, it's very understandable. And again, you get into the following clip, the gears are already turning in his head right there. After that whole fiasco, after that whole drama scene with Jean, he looks at the door and he's like, "I'm leaving." Before it even happens. And then obviously the follow-up is like, okay, he's missing. It's like, yeah, because did you not just see what he went through? And he's getting, like, Crow punched him in the face and he felt it, even though that was meant for Ozpin. And, you know, just, he's a farmer. He's a freaking farmer kid who lives in Mistral, who got thrown into this bigger-than-life ordeal that has nothing to do with him, is well beyond his scope of knowledge, and he's doing the best he can. Also, motherfuckers don't even ask Oscar, like, how he's feeling about anything. He gets punched in the face. You know, basically, he gets punched in the face, and then he just gets freaking manhandled by Jean. No one was like, "Oscar, you 14-year-old minor who just got assaulted by an adult, are you okay?" Like, nope. Just walk it off, kid. Walk it off. Oscar Protection Squad, where you at? Yeah, it sucks, man. Let's see. Ozpin turned idealistic children into his pawns in a war that they can't hope to win, and he thinks is unwinnable. It's kind of like, you know, it's like, if you're gonna go down, you're gonna go down swinging. You know, and there is a way to beat her. It's just weird that for all of the failures that Ozpin's gone through, for all of the life and death that he's gone through, it clicked with us more than it's clicked with him or anyone in this scene. How do I destroy Salem? You can't destroy that which is immortal. But through the flashback, they know, or they should know, that the God of Light spelled it out for them. Only when you understand the importance of life and death, you must understand the importance of life and death. Only then may you rest. So again, I talked about it a little while ago when it came to Crow and his alcohol abuse. You can't help someone who doesn't want help. You can't force...
What if Ozma was able to choose, or was already in line to be reborn into Jean but choose not to because of what he did?
What if Ozma was able to choose, or was already in line to be reborn into Jean but chose not to because of what he did? I don't think that that's how that would work. It's similar to the maidens. Like, the magic, there's a certain level of there's a criteria for the maiden magic. It's like the last person in your thoughts. And for Oscar, or for Ozma, it's a like-minded soul. So like-minded in the sense of, like, honorable, righteous, just. For Oscar, it was probably like a sense of, like, wanting to be bigger or wanting to have more of a purpose than what he already had. Because, you know, Ozpin was like, I know you don't want to live the rest of your life as a farmhand in Mistral, right? He wanted a bigger and better opportunity, a chance to be bigger and better, you know, to do more. And that's kind of the painting that Ozpin painted. That's the canvas that Ozpin painted for Oscar. He was like, you know, you do have a chance at greatness. Greatness in knowing that when the world needed help, you were the one to reach out your hand. So kind of gave Oscar, I guess, the opportunity that he wanted. Not necessarily, it wasn't ideal, but it was, you know, it was like-minded in that regard. Yeah, I mean, honorable is probably, it's just like a simple, honest soul, like an honest and courageous soul. Obviously, it's a lot different, but at the core, that's what Ozma was all about. Ozma was all about being courageous and being righteous. He had a simple and honest soul that apparently is just like, it's withered away at this point based on all the bullshit that he's been through over the years. So, you know, Oscar, I think everybody that initially combines with Ozma is what Ozma was like before everything kind of got out of hand with him. And slowly they end up becoming what Ozma became. And thus, like, because Ozma at this point is kind of, I don't want to call him a parasite, but he's kind of like that raining cloud over someone's head, right? Like, they're fine before he comes into their lives, and then once he's there, shit just hits the fan, and then it's just a constant cycle of what's the word I'm looking for? He, like, taints them, basically. Like, he taints their goodness and their honesty and their righteousness with all of the sin that he's dealt with over the years. And, yeah, he basically infects them over time. So, initially, they are, like, the embodiment of what Ozma used to be, but based on Ozma being, like, a parasite constantly seeking a new host every time, they eventually succumb. So yeah. Venom? I guess Venom then. I don't really know that much about Venom, so I mean, I know he's like a symbiote and that like it's like a parasitic relationship more than a symbiotic relationship. Well, it's a symbiotic relationship technically, but it's not mutual. It's like I'm gonna siphon off of you and get what I want, whether you like it or not. So yeah. In Volume 5, when Oscar wanted Ozpin to let him fight for himself, in the end, he took over by force. As such, Oscar probably feels useless, and now he's accursed for things Ozpin did, so he feels like he's hurting them more than helping. Yeah, it's the classic case of, I think it's just the natural, not the classic case, because that kind of undermines the just the reality of it, but I guess it's just the natural reaction of feeling like you're a burden on others, and rather than sort it out and talk it out, you're just going to assume that other people want nothing to do with you, you're a burden, you're bothersome, you're bothering them whether they tell you you are or you aren't, and your mind's made up and there's no changing it, so you're going to take matters into your own hands. I don't want to get super dark right now. Like, I really don't want to go down this route, but a friend of mine in the Discord, we were talking about the chapter last on Saturday, and they mentioned, like, and this is like going to be really dark, so again, I'm prefacing it, like, what if Oscar's contemplating suicide because he knows that if he dies, he'll be out of the situation, and Ozpin will have to find someone else to deal with it because he doesn't want to. I just said that in chat a second. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure we're not the only ones who came to that conclusion, but I'm just mentioning it for the sake of, like, because it is something that's like that's like, it's nothing to joke about, obviously, but at the same time, it's a very plausible mindset for Oscar to have, especially right now. Can we not? I'm sorry, like I said, just bringing it to y'all's attention. You know, or, you know, and again, he could run away. Hopefully he's not in the wrong place at the wrong time, right? You have Cinder and Neo who are tailing them. So if they see Oscar again, like, GG, dude. Now you're probably gonna be, I could see them using Oscar as like a leverage to get RWBY, if they end up finding him. So that's another thing that that we have to be aware of, because again, he's the youngest person out of anyone here. He's in a city that he doesn't really, I don't think he's very familiar with, and there are people that are not the nicest people that are on their tail right now. So that's like a three-way. That's like a three-part disaster waiting to happen. And yeah, I obviously don't think that that's gonna happen. I don't think Oscar is gonna do that, because number one, I feel like that'd be incredibly morbid for especially a young kid, a 14-year-old, like to do something like that. I won't deny that the thought could be there.
Was harsh but kind of true. Oscar has no idea when the merge will occur. I doubt he will run or kill himself. Mostly cause has still stuck.
Yeah.
But he will have to contemplate if fighting to not lose himself is what is best for the team.
Yeah, I won't say that they'll do that, but I won't deny that the thought could be in his mind. Obviously, the ramifications of him doing something like that, first off, that would be really crazy to kind of, if it happened, especially in the show, and just shock value for sure for the viewers, number one. Number two, that'd be a major setback for everything. That would basically make Volume 4 like null and void of everything that they gave us regarding Oscar's, you know, the whole Oscar and Ozpin plot point. So I don't think that that'll happen, but again, it's wouldn't be surprised if he's thinking it. And I wouldn't be surprised if he brings it up or mentions it either, based on like how he's feeling or the emotions or, you know, whatever he's going through. I just hope he talks it out with somebody, or at least expresses what, like, we don't really know what Oscar thinks or what he's like, we saw that initially when he first merged with Ozpin, but like, how has he been handling all of this since then, you know? And again, like I mentioned before, gets punched in the face by Crow, gets manhandled by Jean, and we don't even know what his mindset is. Like, what is he thinking? What is he trying to do? What's his goal? You know, and I hope, it'd be great if he sees, I mean, we had a little bit of a conversation with him and RWBY in Volume 5 as well, so we still know that he's a little, not all there, necessarily, but, I don't know, with how Volume 5 is, with how Volume 6 has been going so far, it's been a fantastic. I'd love to just get a more direct, like, link to Oscar's mindset right now. Let's see. I know how we defeat Salem. We just need we just need her brought into the Smash universe as DLC, and then Zelda can seal her away. Problem solved. Oh gosh. Yeah, some people are like, yeah, just throw her into one of the vaults and lock the door behind her. Like, I don't think she can get out of those, right? But she probably can get out of those, because the same magic that Ozpin probably used to seal those doors, Salem has that same magic. Both of their magic comes from the same people, the gods. So, you know what I mean? Like, whatever Ozpin can do, Salem can do. You know, it's like that song, like, anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. So, like, they both have magic. And Ozpin's magic is dwindling. We don't know about the state of Salem's magic, and it's understandable. He created the Maidens. That took a heavy amount of magic. He made Crow and Raven birds. That was a bit of magic as well. And, you know, magic to seal the vaults or seal the relics in those vaults, that probably took a lot more magic. So there's only so much that this man can do at this point. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. What a song. Let's see. Oscar reminds me of Aang when he found out he was the Avatar and decided to run away. Hopefully the world doesn't turn to shit, even more so while, let me rephrase it. Jesus Christ, I just had like a stroke. Hopefully the world doesn't turn to shit even more so while Oz is gone, like it did when Aang was. Yeah, I don't think we're waiting 100 years to see what happens, especially since everyone in the storyline Maria would definitely be dead, but everybody else will most likely be dead by that point. But yeah, remember Oz's inspiration, Odin? He lost an eye and got hanged for several days. Things not looking good for Farm Boy. I don't think Oscar is really a connection to that. Oscar Oscar is just like an anomaly right now, to be honest. I don't think he's tethered in any way with Oscar. I'm sorry, with Ozpin. But anyways, that's the mentality, that's the mindset that the poor farm boy's going through right now. So you hate to see it happen. Oh.
Here's a crazy what if. What if Oscar decides to go to Salem to have Ozam extracted from him?
What if Oscar decides to go to Salem to have Ozma extracted from him? He wouldn't know, first off, that he has no knowledge that any of that will happen. Like, who's to say that that would happen? Like, he would have to know for certain that Ozma can be extracted. So yeah, it's a crazy what if, but there's no evidence to support that, like, whatsoever. So that's just like a thin air thought. I mean, and yeah, there is a way to extract him. Just kill Oscar. There you go. Problem solved. GG. Salem wins again. Another point for Team Witch. But yeah, this was RWBY's taking a lot of RWBY's getting really heated lately. We've seen a lot of emotional outbursts from her since the volume has started, and for better or worse. But I think the pressure of everything happening is building up and is leading, I think, to that big break that everybody wants to see of RWBY. I mean, not everybody, but a lot of people want to see RWBY have like this emotional breakdown, or I guess this struggle that implies that growth will come of it, which is very possible. That's a big thing. Like, you know, pain is an excellent teacher, and you know, like some of the best characters in fiction like rise to the occasion from going through those hard times. So, and again, she like threw her scroll, and I don't think she went back for it. Like, it's like the map all over again, like the volume 4 map. Like, Jean drops it like twice and then just loses it. And like, she just throws her scroll and just leaves it on the grass. Doesn't even go pick it up. And I'm just like, did you grab your scroll before you guys realize that Oscar's gone? I don't know. I'd love to see what I'd love to see what RWBY has for each of the people in her contacts, right? Obviously, she has Crow's Uncle Crow. She has Jean as Vomit Boy. I wouldn't, like, I can see Yang being, like, Sis, or, like, Big Sis, or just Sis in general, because I don't think she doesn't have any other, like, siblings. And then, I'd love for Weiss to be, like, BFF. I think that would be great, just because she talks about, like, Weiss being her BFF since, like, Volume 3. And, yeah, I just think that would be really great to see, like, how she has everyone listed in her contacts. Like, what does she have Nora as? What does she have Ren as? And so on and so forth. Ice Queen? I'd love to see that. That'd be really, really sweet. Just because, like, we already know how RWBY is, so just to kind of get that confirmation. She still has him as Vomit Boy after all these years. Weiss is Ice Queen on everyone's scroll. Imagine? That'd be sick. But yeah, we get the long-awaited mention of good old Silver Eyes. Nearly 3 years of waiting. We didn't get all the answers, and it's a good thing that they don't have all the answers. And, because there's still a lot that could happen as a result of just not knowing. They can play around with the concept of the Silver Eyes. Obviously, we know what fuels them. We know how they respond. We know what their capabilities are. But, are there drawbacks? I don't think Maria knows that. You know what I mean? Like, because there would naturally, I would think, there would have to be drawbacks for something like that. Otherwise, it's like, I want to protect my friends. I want to protect the people of Remnant. And it's just like, as long as she has that mindset to tap into, there has to be drawbacks to something like this. And, you know, Maria clearly didn't get to that point of seeing if there were any, because, you know, her eyes got cut short, no pun intended. But yeah, like, the fact that they don't know a lot about the Silver Eyes is great, because it can still set up for discovering over time the drawbacks of the Silver Eyes, if there are any other applications or anything else that they can do, if they react to in any way to, like, magic, or simply, specifically, exclusively only the Grimm, which Maria mentioned that they only work on the Grimm. If they're gonna work similarly to Salem because she is grimified, will they affect the God of Darkness when they summon, if they summon the gods back? Will she be able to just use her silver eyes to just wreck the freaking God of Darkness? You know, there's a lot of things that we don't know, which is a good thing. And a lot of things that we do know from this chapter as well, so it was really great to see that. I loved this scene as well. I think the butterflies were a big part of that. Just the the environment of everything. I want to say the butterflies are like symbolic, like they symbolize life, and they could also symbolize like, I guess, the natural progression, like what's the word I'm trying to say? They represent, I guess, the natural cycle of life, right? Like a caterpillar, like you start off as like a larva, and then a caterpillar, and then a cocoon, and then a butterfly. And, you know, that could similarly be like with RWBY. Like RWBY right now is just like a novice at the Silver Eyes, but she's going to evolve and she's going to go through a metamorphosis similar to like a caterpillar to a butterfly. And you see a shit ton of butterflies in this scene, so I think they're there for more than just for show. They represent life or like a rebirth. You know, a butterfly is so much different than what it starts out as a caterpillar. The butterflies from Persona. The first thing I thought of when I saw the butterflies was Life is Strange. I played the first Life is Strange when it came out, like a few years ago. And the blue butterfly that you take a picture of in the bathroom, like the same picture that you have to like rip up at the end of the first Life is Strange. That's the first thing I thought of. I was like, blue butterfly. I've played this game before. I know what's gonna happen. So yeah, that's the first thing that came to my mind, at least. But yeah, like besides that, I was just like, do these butterflies mean something? Is it like rebirth? Is it life in general? Is it metamorphosis? Is it like, you know, the progression of life or the preservation of life, etc., etc.? All the butterflies and the birds keep our secrets. No, they won't say a word, but they watch us and they know, and they're happy as they see our love grow. Good song. Okay, so again, the butterfly. I liked that. And again, blue butterfly, Life is Strange. Take a picture. Well, RWBY could have taken a picture if she didn't throw her scroll across the goddamn field, the backyard. Jesus, dude, they're just pretty insects. No. Everything, there's a lot of symbolism in RWBY. I refuse to just be like, it's just butterflies. Your singing sucks? Yikes. Well, I'm not trying to be a singer, and I'm not trying to be good at singing, so at the end of the day, it comes off as just, like, I sing the freaking intro every week. I'm no Casey Lee Williams here. Like, give me a break. The butterfly effect? Ooh.
I'm wondering why people are so mad at Jean. I mean, that guy just wants to do what's best and everything breaks around him. He just wants the best out of everyone. So why are people so upset and using this as fuel for the Jean hate train?
I think it's because people hate that Jean gets a lot of development and he's not the main character, right? He had the Jean arc in volumes 1 and volume 2. A lot of people think that Pyrrha died so Jean could develop as a character. Yeah, a lot of people are just like, they wish that Jean, the development that went to Jean went to like RWBY or something like that. So I don't know why people hate on him. I appreciate Jean a lot. I really like him. And I don't think it's angsty. Like, Jean has every right to be angry. He's not being angry for the sake of being angry. The reasons he's angry are very valid. I don't think it's angst or anything like that. The kid's like 18, so yeah. Or 19 at this point. Like, RWBY's 17, and all the other students are 2 years older than her, so everyone else at this point should be like 19. So yeah, the kid's an adult at this point. He's grown, he's developed, he has every right to be angry. Why people hate on Jean? I haven't really seen people hate on Jean, unless it's like, you know, unless that's all congregated in one place like Facebook or Reddit or something like that. But I don't think there's any reason. Are you streaming on something else? I am streaming on OBS, and it's on my monitor right now. How did Jean get buff? Have you not seen, like, Jean's been training behind the scenes, whether people want to admit that or believe that or not. Like, Volume 4, Chapter 2, hello? Jean was actually buff way beforehand, like, when the dance, like, he was wearing the dress, he was freaking chiseled as fuck. Nope. Nope. My math is not off. Lindsay Jones has confirmed, and I believe Rooster Teeth has actually confirmed this as well. RWBY is 17 years old. 17 years old. Which means everybody else in the show, or the students at least, are all 19. They're 2 years older than her. Yeah, he was ripped in Volume 2. Mothra. Oh gosh, let's not. So yeah. Oh, by the way, hold on. I gotta pull an old, okay. So I loved the whole backstory. Like, the dude wasn't even in the show, but I loved the backstory that Maria gave for her father. She was basically talking about, you know, he was a soldier, an excellent teacher. He taught her as much as about the Silver Eyes that he knew, and even he didn't have all the answers. I loved that, and I loved, like, how the fact that he learned all of this information, and even lacked a lot of information, and that led him to grow cautious. I was talking to a friend of mine, Jackson, about that, and he was like, her father just sounds so fascinating to know and to be able to deduce, like, powerful bloodlines. We have this immense power. We don't know the origins of it, but at the same time, with it being so powerful, it's also very abundant. So the guy was able to put, like, okay, if we're really rare, then something must be, like, out to get us. And that's super cool, even though, and then, like, that reflected in Maria, in her training, in her upbringings as well. She mentioned, like, she passed the license exam. She got the highest score than anybody else. And that was due to her training that predated Kingdoms and predated the Huntsman Academies. And she mentioned that it wasn't an official title back in her day, which, again, that's the Silver Eyes predates a lot of that stuff that Ozpin put into practice after the Great War. So yeah, I really like how, like, her dad. I wish we got, like, her dad now, like, because and I assume he had Silver Eyes. You know what I mean? It would only make sense, you know, like, for her to know how to harness her powers the same way RWBY's learning how to harness her powers from someone who has firsthand experience themselves. So the fact that he would have been a Silver-Eyed Warrior and Maria's a Silver-Eyed Warrior, that shit's so freaking cool. So as of right now, Maria, RWBY, Summer, and potentially Maria's father all had Silver Eyes. So we have 3, I'm not going to straight up say he is because it's not confirmed, but 3 to 4 Silver-Eyed Warriors in the show so far. I really thought we were going to get a flashback when she looked into the sky. Yeah, I mean, that's just like, it's just like a natural transition, but, you know, she just talked about him, and then she mentioned her semblance, and I started crying because my theory got deconfirmed, or debunked. Very upset about it. I in no way, shape, or form regret making that theory. I loved the amount of effort that I made. That was my first theory of the volume. I had little to no information to go on. It was episode 1 and the intro and the trailer. That's the only information that I had, and I was able to flush it out really well. And it was something that a lot of people were like, oh man, I really wish I hope this theory comes true. And then when we found out she was a Silver-Eyed Warrior, people were like, oh shoot, part of your theory's right. She's a Silver-Eyed Warrior. Now we need the second half. And then she was like, preflexes. And I was like, it's like the typical, like, anime moment. Like, if my whole, like, screen just, like, cracked and then shattered.
The drawback of Silver-Eyed Warriors is being hunted for life by Salamander forces
24/7. Yeah, but that's not really a drawback to using the Silver Eyes, right? I guess it is, right? Because that's what Talk mentioned. She was like, you know, she's like, oh, that's a fancy trick now, innit? Afraid it comes with a price, though. That price being people like me and my squad and Salem who are gonna hunt you down. It's not an innate drawback, which is more so what I was getting at, because everything has a drawback, right? The 8 gates, Naruto, for example, the 8 gates, fucking huge, like a huge amount of power, like a massive power source, an incredibly like double-edged sword technique. Drawbacks, severe. Your muscles rip, your bones break, and if you go all the way, you die. You know, that's a very balanced, like, give and take reward, like high risk, high reward ability. Mangekyo Sharingan gives you all these crazy, broken, over the top, crazy anime level abilities. Susanoo, you know, you have your own unique Kekkei Genkai, and the drawback is the more you use it, you eventually go blind. Like, I feel like, and Kaioken's another one too. I see a lot of people mentioning Kaioken in the show, in the chat. Yeah, like, you use that, like, you push your body to its limits for the time being, but then you're paying for that shit, like, immediately afterwards. Like, your body's just gonna, like, shut down, and, you know, again, it's similar to, like, it's similar to the 8 gates where, like, your body just, like, tears itself apart. A natural, innate drawback to the Silver Eyes would be better than just like, oh, if you have Silver Eyes, someone's going to be on your back 24/7. Especially since, like, I get it. It's a good drawback, but it's not, like, it's not innate. So, naturally, if no one was around to hunt them down, these Silver-Eyed warriors could just, like just eviscerate Grimm left, right, and center. But yeah, Hunter x Hunter limitations and restrictions, Arnold. Hunter does have them. Hunter's power system is extremely complex. So, and Nen is so complex. I think Nen is the most complex power system in all of anime, personally. Because there's so many tiers, your emotions go into it. Like, right, you have, like, the different principles of Nen, like Hatsu, Ren, Gyo, and then you have, like, your specialization. Are you an enhancer? Are you a specialist? Are you a transmuter? And then those branch off to their own, like, there's so much with Hunter. It's crazy. I love it. But the complexity there, you can also get lost in the complexity. All right, let's see. So yeah, long story short, preflexes. She can see and react to things almost before they happen. It's not a guaranteed all the time, and that's understandable for most of her fight against Talk. I will say, though, a lot of people are like, wow, what a great semblance, but you got your eyes cut out. You didn't see that coming, and the pun in there is like, get it? You didn't see it coming because her eyes got cut out. But her semblance, her aura. She had no aura, so if you run out of aura, you can't use your semblance, and her aura broke during that fight. I don't know if it broke, like, officially broke, or if it was, like, withered down or something. But yeah, so if her aura did in fact break, because we saw it, like, flash, that could have been the indicator. They're very inconsistent with showing when aura is cracked, when it's damaged, and when it's straight up down. So if her aura did break, she wouldn't be able to use that semblance to see the attack coming from behind her. And then, yeah, you never see it come. And then cue Persona 5 music. So, yeah. If that is, in fact, the case, then that explains why she didn't see it coming. Arnold, stop. But, yeah, so... preflexes. Rip my theory again. And then this is where we get the I guess the true source of the Silver Eyes. So RWBY got a little bit of a tutorial on the Silver Eyes back in Brunswick. Initially I thought it was like Nakama power, right? Like, my friends are my power, I fight for my friends. And, you know, that's the typical cliche, like, that's like a fairy tale thing, almost. Like, you're powered by the strength of your friendship. Even, like, kind of like, I guess, One Piece in a way. not necessarily One Piece, more Fairy Tail based on what I've heard. I've never watched Fairy Tail myself, but I highly like, I definitely agree, or I definitely believe a lot of those claims with Fairy Tail, at least, that like the friendship factor is a big part of a lot of the overcoming obstacles. But yeah, it's essentially that preserving life is the enemy of destruction or creation, and preservation is basically the cousin of creation, and the need or the want to protect. It's similar to, I guess, in a way, awakening your latent powers, right? Because, like, for example, the Super Saiyan state, right? Dragon Ball Z, the Super Saiyan state is, like, becoming a Super Saiyan comes in response of a need, not a desire. You have to need that power of a Super Saiyan to become a Super Saiyan. You can't want it. You can't, like, that's why it took Vegeta so fucking long to become a Super Saiyan, because he was always, like, trying to flex. He was always trying to get it for the sake of getting it, for the sake of being better than Goku. Goku did it, and Gohan did it as a means of, like, I need to do this to protect my friends. You killed, you know, you're killing my friends, you know, Frieza, Cell, killing my friends left, right, and center. I need this power in order to protect them. And that's similar to the Silver Eyes. Like, the Silver Eyes are like, it's powered by the preservation of life.
I think the power of preservation the God of Light gave to Ozma got passed down to his children, same for his reincarnations. But isn't it kind of going against the meaning/balance of light and death and not nice to his bro, since he created the Grimms?
I don't think it's not nice. I think it's very fair. Because when you look at it, the God of Light and Darkness created humans. But then the God of Darkness goes and makes these things that destroy, that kill life. It's basically the embodiment of death for humans. So the God of Light, all he's doing is evening the playing field. And on top of that, it's not like everyone has it. It's RNG, basically. It's like, not everyone will have this, but those who will be able to combat that inevitable darkness, that inevitable death that will come for them based on his brother's creation, which I think the brother's creation is a little bit more unfair, in my opinion, than the God of Light's. So yeah. And in terms of like how in terms of how the light or how the Silver Eyes were distributed, I'm not entirely sure, because a lot of people are like, yeah, Ozma's kids, it passed down to his children. But for all we know, similar to how Ozma reincarnated into that first person, Ozpin could have easily, or Ozma could have just reincarnated into that guy after he already had the kids. That could have just been the natural evolution of the next generation of humans, right? Before they, or maybe even after they left Remnant, I could have pictured the God of Light coming back and being like, okay, humans are getting pretty wrecked. They don't have magic. My brother's creations are still running amok. So let me bless a small portion of the currently existing humans with Silver Eyes. Over time, they'll learn how to develop this power, this technique, and it'll be passed down the generations, you know, as a hereditary trait. As kind of like a, okay, well, I'll throw you one last bone before I leave, because otherwise you guys are going to be eradicated. And then on top of that, Salem was still in the world existing, so they needed something for that as well. But yeah, we don't know how the Silver Eyes are distributed, or how they came into the picture. I don't think Ozpin had anything to do with it. I think it's very much the God of Light decided to bestow it upon the second generation of humanity. But if he left before they came into existence, does that mean he came back and just gave it to them? Or he just, like, sowed the seeds into, like, the dirt and soil that eventually made up the next generation? Who knows? But either way, yeah, it originates from the God of Light. And yeah, it's the power, and then here we have it right here too. I decided to feature it. Oh, okay. So yeah. But yeah, cause I always wondered that. I was like, why the hell would the God of Light just let his brother make Grimm? Because the story that Crow told was literally, and it's understandable because Crow didn't know that side of the story. So, and especially if Ozpin kept that from him. But basically it was like, one day the God of Darkness went and made something, right? Every morning the God of Light would create trees and life, and every night the brother would destroy it. And then one day the God of Darkness went and made something. He went and made the embodiment of his negativity and disgust for life, which is the creatures of Grimm. And then it turned into, oh, well then they both decided to make humans. It's like, hello? Like, where's your disputing power to combat or to level out the Grimm? It was almost like it didn't exist. And when this happened, when this scene here happened initially, that's the first thing that clicked in my mind. I was like, that flash of light that happens right here almost reminded me of the same thing that happened with the apathy. And, I was putting two and two together at that point.
So, now we know the God of Light has silver eyes. Does this mean RWBY is a direct descendant from him? Knowing how biology works, the only way of this happening is the God of Light procreating with a woman. Thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, they're gods, right? Humans are created in their image, so technically everyone is a descendant of the gods, be it light or darkness. It's just that RWBY has a trait of his, which is his eyes. So yeah, that's very much possible. Hold on, this isn't true, Arnold. It was retconned about the need to... Wait, it was retconned to be that the amount of S cells you have, turning Super Saiyan has nothing to do with a need. Oof. The Dragon Ball Z I remember, I never watched Super, but the Dragon Ball Z I remember, that's initially what it was. It has to come in the response of a need, not a desire. That's how Goku awakened it, and that's how he taught it to Gohan. Or that's how he taught the concept to Gohan. And that's as far as the Cell Saga. So yeah, I mean, if it was retconned after the fact, that's fine, but that's what I'm going off of. So yeah. Oh, hold on. Sorry about that. I'm missing a few of these super chats. I apologize, guys. Let's see. Speaking of not seeing things coming, have you heard that Joker is coming to Smash? You should have done a reaction. You should have done a reaction that got almost 200k views. Nice humble brag there, buddy. No, yeah. So that Joker reaction is my second most viewed video in 2018, which is fucking crazy. And that happened like 3 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago. But yeah, the hype for Persona is insane. I love Persona. I played it for the first time. This is my first Persona game. I played it this year. I beat it this year. It took me 2.5 months to beat it. Playing that game exclusively, no other game. And I love how I love that game. That game is so important to me. It means so much to me. And I love it with all of my heart. And Joker being in Smash, I could have never imagined that in a million fucking years. What's my most viewed video, like, of all time? It's a 50-second shitpost. It has 400,000 views. Don't ask me how. I couldn't tell you, and I made it like 4 years ago. I couldn't tell. No, I'm sorry. Not 4 years ago. Jesus. I made it 3 years ago. Almost 3 years ago, if not 3 years ago. No clue. Couldn't tell you how it got that many views. YouTube algorithm was apparently on my side that day. Because it's funny. I guess, but 400,000 views. My most viewed video on my channel is a 50-second shitpost. That's crazy. The shitpost is love. Yeah, Nope must run in RWBY's family. That's the shit. And I made that on like a whim one day. That was back when my channel, that was like after volume, that was after volume 3. Yeah, that was after volume 3. So it was after volume 3. So my channel was growing at that time, but it was no, like, I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you. It just became my most viewed video one day. Yeah, I don't think I've ever screamed that loud in my life when Joker was revealed for Smash. Like, in my life. Like, that goes beyond reactions. I could not believe it, dude. And it took like a second for it to process in my head. Like, what? But yeah, I love Persona 5 so much, and I wish everyone who is a gamer played that game, because it's so important to me, and the characters are so important to me. They're unforgettable. I miss them so much. I can't wait to go and play my second playthrough, and I'm probably gonna cry even harder than I did the first time I beat the game, because like I know what's coming. But yeah, I love Persona 5 so much, and I'm gonna definitely aim to main Joker when he comes out for Smash Bros. Let's see. But yeah, I have not played Persona 3 or 4 yet. Like I said, I played and beat Persona 5 for the first time this year, 2018. I started it in February. I beat it mid-April. So, it took me about 2.5 months, or roughly around 2 months or so to beat it. But yeah, so Silver Eyes originated from the God of Light, and tips the scale. I guess evens things out more than anything, because again, just having Grimm in the world with humans who are primitive and don't have any way of defending themselves. They don't understand semblances. They don't understand aura. They have no magic. You know what I mean? Like, it's very much like, at least in the early days especially, I feel like it was very much the like the Stone Ages, or the caveman days of Remnant. So this is very interesting also, because Maria mentioned... hold on. I'm going to take a sip of my water. Oh, God, I'm talking so much today. Okay. Maria mentions that she can freeze Grimm, she can vaporize Grimm, and she can blind Grimm. And so far, we've seen RWBY do each one of those things. She froze the Grimm on the top of Beacon Tower, the Wyvern. I guess officially now, Rooster Teeth has their terminology right this time around. But the Grim Dragon / Wyvern was frozen at the top of Beacon Tower in Volume 3. She affected Cinder as well, technically blinded her, right? An eye for an eye, that whole jazz. Blinded her left eye. And, you know, at that point, it's believed that she was influenced by the Grimm in the glove that was infused in her during the flashback. So technically, even though the Grimm wasn't present, she was Grimm infused at that point. And then we have her eviscerating, like straight up vaporizing the Apathy Grimm a couple chapters back. So I think the freezing of the Grimm is based on the mass. Like, the bigger the enemy, it's like you can't vaporize a giant fucking Grimm, so just freeze it in place, freeze it to stone. And if it's a smaller Grimm that's more of like on your level, like a Beowulf or something, then yeah, I think those Grimm are the ones that can be vaporized. So it's all based on mass. At least I think so. So yeah, can someone explain to me why the Wyvern is called Kevin? It's just called Kevin. I don't know the origin story of the Kevin, of the dubbed name of Kevin. I know it happened after Volume 3, and you know, if the community says it enough times, it becomes truth. It's the internet. But no, like enough people were like Kevin, and it just became Kevin. It's a joke, you know what I mean? It's just another thing the community birthed into existence. It's kind of funny too. It's like, we don't know. I don't even think the community knows why they called it Kevin. They're just like, yo, let's just give him a very casual name, despite him being like a super crazy ancient dragon, like high level Grimm. But yeah, are we gonna get a reaction of the new Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer? So first and foremost, let me just mention, all of these are pretty cool ways of taking down Grimm. RWBY hasn't harnessed any of these abilities just yet, but just the fact that we've gotten glimpses of each one of them is very exciting, because now RWBY is going to be able to focus and harness her powers with the help of Maria. So very excited to see more Grimm being vaporized. I don't know if Cinder's other eye is going to be taken out of commission at this point. And yeah, I'm just very, very excited to see all of that develop with the Silver Eyes after so long of basically waiting. hold on a second. But yeah, okay, really quick, doing a quick little detour. Someone asked about the Kingdom Hearts trailers. I am not watching any more Kingdom Hearts anything until the game comes out. The last trailer I watched, I'm gonna make a video about this too, because some people are still asking me. The last trailer I watched was from Tokyo Game Show 2018. I believe it was I think it was either September or October that I watched it. And at this point, I feel like if I keep watching these trailers, it's going to water down my first playthrough. It's not going to be, my reaction will no longer be, holy shit, I'm seeing this for the first time as I'm playing the game. It's gonna be, oh, I saw that in the trailer already. Or, oh, I remember that from the trailer. I want some genuine first-time experiences. I don't want everything to be shown and revealed in the trailers. Like, and they're still doing it to this day, and I get it, right? And I understand, like, I've been doing reactions for so long. It's like, well, why does it matter now? Because Kingdom Hearts 3 is the end of a saga. Kingdom Hearts 3 is the end of a 15-year-long adventure for me. And I don't want to be spoiled on anything else. I feel like I've been satisfied enough with Kingdom Hearts trailers and reactions and reveals to be satisfied. And I'd much rather those experiences and those reactions come forth in the actual gameplay, in the actual Let's Play that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be streaming the game live on Twitch when that comes out. I'm going to be streaming it on my Twitch channel every single day until I complete the game 100%, and then I will be uploading those videos to YouTube, and I'd rather have those experiences instead of... And I'm not, again, I don't want to come off as like... I don't want to make it seem like, oh, well, I'm doing this while other people are choosing... Like, it's very valid if people want to get as much as they can, learn as much as they can before they play the game for themselves. And I know that it's a very trendy thing, like, at this point, and I've been doing it forever, of, like, recording my reactions and sharing my excitement and my experiences, and I've done that with Kingdom Hearts, I did it with Smash Brothers, I do it with RWBY, and it's very, you know, it's a thing that people are still doing. It's just I've chosen to pull back. I have not seen the Luca trailer, the Luca 2018 trailer. I guess they showed an extensive look at Tangled, the Tangled World. I didn't see that. I haven't seen the Together trailer. They just came out with the Final Battle trailer, and like, I can't fucking believe they did this. Like, they revealed like half of the intro, and I'm like, why would you do that? Like, I get it, like, they're promoting and showing off the new song by Utada Hikaru and Skrillex, but I'm like, that is something I do, especially half of it. No, it's all or nothing for me. I want to see that I want to see and hear that song for the first time and see the visuals when I'm actually playing the game. And apparently today they came out with 3 15-second commercials of the game, and I'm just like, I'm done. Like, I'm done. I don't want any more Kingdom Hearts anything. The next time I want to play Kingdom Hearts, the next time I want to see Kingdom Hearts 3, the next time I want to hear about Kingdom Hearts is when the game is in my hands and I'm streaming it on day one. So yeah. So yeah, that there will no more Kingdom Hearts trailers for me, or reactions or anything like that. I pre-ordered the PS4, the Kingdom Hearts 3 PS4. I got the collector, I got the deluxe edition of KH3, and I have a little over a month to wait before the game comes out. Thank God RWBY's gonna be done before Kingdom Hearts comes out now. They changed their schedule around, so RWBY ends on the 26th, and Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out on the 29th. So I'm so happy that I'll be done with RWBY. RWBY will be put away, so where I can fully focus on Kingdom Hearts. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be like 1 or 2 more trailers left because, you know, they had the launch trailer that they still have to do, and then there's one more at that. And then on top of that, there's spoilers of Kingdom Hearts out because some dumbass wanted to steal copies from a distribution company and like try to sell them to make money. And some people got their hands on it and have been uploading early footage of the game. So yeah, I'm done with Kingdom Hearts. I'm staying far away from it. And Japan gets it a day or 2 before us anyway, so I'm going to be... This is a good way of me kind of prepping myself to stay away from Kingdom Hearts stuff until I get the game myself. But yeah, long story short, for the person that was asking, the next time you guys see me And anything regarding Kingdom Hearts will be when I start the game on Twitch. But yeah. Let's see. I liked this too. Again, like the butterfly thing. I think that was a nice parallel of and she's all, and RWBY, I'm so happy, I'm so proud of RWBY. Like this entire exchange between Maria and RWBY was, it felt like a master and apprentice thing, right? Like obviously Maria being the master, RWBY being the apprentice, of like passing down the information, being the student and pupil. I'm sorry, the master and pupil. And RWBY asking a lot of questions.
Wait, that's been bugging me for a long time now. How do I do the Silver Eye's power affect her left eye? Because of her Grim spider siphoning the maiden power, grimifying it? Or the maiden's weakness is the Silver Eye's light, like what Salem?
No, I think very much Maria mentioned that she can blind Grim, and if the glove merged with, if the glove with the beetle, with the Grim beetle merged with Cinder, that made her part Grim, which made her susceptible to the silver-eyed powers, and that's what blinded her. I think the wording of how Salem mentioned it is a little skewed, because she says it's because of, she was like, even without her new power, it should have been effortless. And Salem replies with, it's because of the maiden's powers. Make no mistake, Cinder, you hold the key to our victory, but your newfound power brings with it a crippling weakness. I don't think she was talking about the maiden powers in particular, but more so the method that she got the powers from. Because if she got the powers from a Grim siphoning the magic, that could mean that that Grim is now tethered to the magic. And now that magic has been corrupted by Grim, and that's now a part of Cinder. And so when she says it's because of the maiden's magic, what she means to say is, or clarifying it, she's saying the maiden's magic that you obtained through Grim means is now a weakness as well as a strength for you because of the way that you got it. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's how she means it, because there is no evidence to suggest that magic is a weakness to Silver Eyes. And if so, we don't have enough information to make that claim, because Cinder is an outlier right now. If it happened with Raven, that would be one story. If it happens with the Winter Maiden or the Spring Maiden, I'm sorry, if it happens with the Winter Maiden or the Summer Maiden down the line, that's fine. But right now, based on the evidence that we have, it's only affected Cinder, and we know that Cinder is grimified, and the way that she got the powers was through a Grim means. So that's the only thing we can go off of. We can't jump to that conclusion because of the lack of information that we have. We can only go off of what we have and what we know. So that's how I rationalize it, and that's the evidence that I'm providing based the evidence that we got in the show. And so yeah, if we see RWBY use Silver Eyes on a maiden, someone who's not affected by Grim, then we can make that claim. But yeah, I liked this parallel also because RWBY, again, asking questions finally. You know, she asked about, you know, she's asking questions about the Silver Eyes and stuff like that, and then she also puts two and two together on the spot. And I like this because, like, RWBY's still being a little dorkish, you know, she's like, how do I laser beam monsters with my eyeballs and stuff like that. She's not very disciplined in that regard, and Maria's kind of like trying to have her be mature about it. And then she's like remembering, she's like, wait a minute. And we, as the viewers, know something that she doesn't know, that the characters don't know, which is Cinder is already grimified. She has the Grim arm, and I wouldn't be surprised if it goes further as time goes on. And RWBY's isn't able to make that connection just yet. And rightfully so, right? Like, they probably, like, for everything that they've gotten information on, right? They learned about magic, they learned about maidens, they learned about gods and relics and all this stuff, like shit that they thought was just like impossible. Never could be could never happen. They probably have never even thought or conceived the thought of like a human being merged with Grim. And Salem is different because Salem, like, she jumped into the pool, so obviously something's gonna happen, but Cinder very much is human for the most part, but her arm is like Grim. And that's probably never even crossed their minds, like that something like that's even possible. So RWBY was just immediately going to dismiss that as like, no, that can't be true. And I can only imagine their reaction when they find that shit out. So yeah, obviously Raven wasn't surprised. You know, Raven's probably seen some shit, and it's very understandable for her sake, you know, given that she's also a maiden. But yeah, but for the students, I like how RWBY's thinking a lot more critically about the situation, and really quick to on her feet. She was like, wait, what you just told me contradicts my perception of things, because I used it on Cinder, and Cinder's not a Grim. She didn't even take into consideration, is it possible for a human to be part Grim? You know what I mean? Or take on Grim-like qualities. So I like how that interaction went along. Pretty sure it's confirmed that Silver Eyes don't affect magic. Salem and Ozpin aren't affected by the God of Light's Silver Eyes. I mean, that's true too. I mean, that predates a lot of the original shit, or the original stuff. But yeah, like, it would be weird if magic originated from the god of... If magic originated from the gods, and the Silver Eyes originated... well, I guess the Grimm are exclusively the god of darkness. The Silver Eyes are exclusively the god of light. So it would make sense for those two to butt heads. But magic was bestowed by both of them. They said magic was a gift from the gods that everyone could wield. So the god of light and god of darkness bestowed this magic equally to their creations, like to the humans. So it wouldn't make sense for one of them, like for the eyes, to affect that when it's equally distributed. If it's just exclusively the god of darkness's thing, then that would make sense. No. Calyx 46. So they need to clarify it a little bit more, because they said Jin worded it as gods, more than one, meaning both of them. But the humans used their magic to attack the god of darkness. So the god of darkness is going to take this and be like, my own power, my own gift to them used against me. That doesn't mean that it wasn't also the god of light that gave him the power. He's just looking at it as, they're attacking me with this power that I willingly gave to them. It doesn't mean, I don't think that means like it's wholeheartedly his gift that he gave. I don't think that's what he meant. I think he meant it more like personally, because they were attacking him. I mean, I guess he said my own gift. Oh, then why did Jin say gods? She said magic was a power bestowed by the gods. Jin knows everything. Maybe the destructive factors of it? Okay. Let's just ask Jin. Nah, that's a waste of a question. All right. I'll take it for his word for word and say that that's directly from the god of darkness. God, man, that's gonna bug me now. Like, wordplay is so specific in this show. You have the god of darkness saying that my own gift to them used against me, and then you have Jin say that magic was a gift bestowed by the gods, not the god of darkness. I mean, Jin knows. Jin's the god of the relic of knowledge. I wouldn't be surprised. Jin does know everything. I'll make that claim. I think Jin knows everything. I think that's the whole purpose of Jin. Like, if you have a question, she has an answer, provided that it has nothing to do with the future. I think that's how it works. Otherwise, Jin would have to be everywhere to witness everything. Otherwise, she couldn't give a question. I mean, she couldn't give an answer. Yeah. But yeah, wordplay is a little annoying. And then yeah, wrapping up that whole thing, Farm Boy's missing. And now Jean has that look on his face like, yep, that's my bad. Like, Jean knows he fucked up. He's like, yep, I just manhandled him like an hour ago, and now he's missing. So, lost Farm Boy. Now we gotta go on a search and rescue mission. Oh boy. Another thing too that I'm really upset about was that Rooster Teeth told us that we're not getting a chapter after this episode came out. So this is the episode they left us off with. So I was expecting the episode they'd leave us off with would be like a massive cliffhanger like they usually are. And they were just like, oh yeah, by the way, that chapter you watched, that's the last chapter you're getting until the 29th. And I'm just like, no! So yeah, I was a little upset about that. Okay, Arnold, I'm finally here, so now let's go ahead and start your stream. Oh god. Dashy. I literally just made it to the last clip, the last scene of the episode. I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. You missed it by that much, though. I'll give you that. I appreciate it, though. Better late than never. And I mean, I'm pretty sure you were doing more important things than hearing me ramble for 2.5 hours, so don't worry about it. But yeah, now, oh, hold on. Okay, the discussion is officially finished. So I can take y'all off slow chat. Freedom! Oh boy, oh no. But yeah, so yeah, next chapter, which is on the 29th, next Saturday. So this is the last discussion of 2018. Oh, wait, we're not done yet. I have one more thing. Remember I told you guys, for those of you guys who are still here, sticking around, I wanted to show you guys something. I have a little special thing that I wanted to share with you guys. Almost completely forgot about that, but yeah, we're still here, we're doing this, let's go. So, like I said, it's nothing crazy. It's nothing over the top. It's just something neat that I kind of wanted to share with you guys. Since again, this is the last stream of 2018. I will be making a video about what you guys are gonna see right now. I just do want to kind of I'm showing you guys this now just to kind of just show it off for the moment because, like I said, I kind of want to go off with a bang to an extent. Keeping Genlock and Kingdom Hearts 3 in mind, Red vs. Blue Sea. Yeah, RWBY Season 10 will be returning. I'm going to be focused. I think I'm only going to do reactions to Genlock. I'm not going to give it the same RWBY treatment, especially since it's the first season. I don't know how I'm going to feel about Genlock until it comes out, and as I'm watching it, and Season 1 is the foundation. So, Genlock, I think I'll only be doing, like, reactions and maybe, like, similar to, like, my RWBY reactions. I'll give, like, a pre-discussion at the beginning before the reaction, and then a post-discussion thoughts after the fact, and then I'm obviously going to focus on Kingdom Hearts 3, Red vs. Blue, and as those get out, I kind of want to focus on anime stuff on my channel again, because that's what built my channel up to begin with when I first started my channel 5 years ago, 5.5 years ago at this point. So I do kind of want to experiment a little bit with anime content in the future. So So yeah, but first and foremost, before I get into anything, I just want to say thank you guys again, from the bottom of my heart. 2018 has been fantastic. I have been through so much in the last year. You know, I had my highs, I had my lows. Content on the channel is better than it's ever been, I think. I've been able to push myself. I've been able to do things that I've always wanted to do on the channel now because you guys have supported it. You know, people who have subbed to my YouTube channel, who followed me on Twitch. I'm a partnered Twitch streamer. I got partnered this year because of that continued support. I obviously have people to thank, especially on Patreon, who are the lion's share of the support of what allows me to kind of do this from home. you know, being able to turn on my camera to record, or turn on my camera to stream, or to ramble, or to make a shit post, you know, or get into theories, my reactions, my discussions, etc. I really wouldn't, I don't think I'd even be doing YouTube this long if it wasn't for the support and, you know, the luck especially that came into a lot of the factors that happened around Volume 3, right? Volume 3 was the big boom, and I originally said to myself, I was like, it was very easy to look at Volume 3 and, you know, Miles and Barbara tweeting me out and giving me shout-outs on the Rooster Teeth, on the RWBY live stream, and sending their reaction to my reaction, and that's how a lot of people discovered me. And it's very easy to look at a lot of that happened 2, almost 3 years ago at this point, and just say to yourself, that was a fluke. You know what I mean? Like, that's obviously a fluke, that's a one-time thing. But I'm really happy that I made something of that growth, right? It would have been one thing if I was just like, if that was a one and done thing, if that was just like a spur of the moment, everyone, you know, all eyes were on my channel, people were discovering me by the day, and I was uploading one reaction video a week at that time because I was working 40 hours a week at Papa Gino's around that time, and it would have been so easy to just look at that and be like, well, that's a fluke, and then just everyone just moved on. And then I started doing reactions, and then I went to RTX, and I met, you know, the community in person. I met, you know, Barbara and Miles and the RWBY and all that stuff, and I came back, and I hit the ground running. I started doing news and information videos for RWBY, and then I started doing live stream discussions when Volume 4 came out. I continued doing the reviews for that as well. And, you know, shit posting became a thing. Theories now, I remember when I thought I wasn't good enough for theories, and look at me now. Like, I've done like 5 theories on this volume alone. You know, Twitch streaming especially, I played, oh my god, like, gaming has been a big part of my life, and I loved, you know, I loved just being able to have that experience of streaming and having an audience to watch and experience the games that I played. God of War, Super Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Persona 5, Kingdom Hearts 3, which will be next month. And, like, without you guys, none of that would have been possible. And I don't even mean that from, like, a financial standpoint. I don't mean that just for the people who are willing and able to donate when they're able to, or pledge to Patreon, or sub to me on Twitch. Like, everyone's input matters, everyone's involvement matters and counts, whether you just watch my videos or leave a thumbs up or leave a comment. And I try to give everybody the time of day, right? Like, I try to just read the chat, you know, and I remember a lot of people by name, and I remember a lot of people's faces and usernames, and I try to be warm and welcoming, and just never forget and never let people, never sleep on the fact that this is all because of you guys. And, you know, like I said, 2018 was huge. 2018 was such an important year for me, and it was the first time in the 5 years that I had my channel, it was the first time that I started thinking about a silver play button. It was the first time that I was just like, wow, I'm close to 100,000 subscribers. I'm at 78,000, I think, right now, like almost 79,000. And based on my plans for 2019, I think I can reach 100K next year, which is like huge, like such a huge accomplishment, especially since I'm a very niche creator. I just do like Rooster Teeth based stuff, and then obviously gaming on Twitch. But what I want to show you guys is something that I did last year. I didn't post it to the channel because it was like after the fact that I discovered it, but if I want to try to put together a video to kind of just commemorate 2018, and I'll make a video, it's going to be edited, and I'm going to feature and talk about all the big key points that I made and all the key strides that I hit in 2018. But I want to show you guys a year in review for 2018. It's super cool, and it kind of, again, puts into perspective a lot of the No, it's not a Murder of Birds rewind. No, I'm not trying to take the flack that YouTube's getting right now, the most hated video on YouTube as of right now. It's not really a rewind, it's just like I don't know. It's a catalog of statistics of my growth over the last year. So I'm going to go full screen, and then I'm going to go full screen so you guys can see it. And then I'm going to come back and shift and then kind of look at it from side to side, and we can go through it together. So, and there's going to be a little bit of music in here too. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Okay. So here it is. Murder of Birds 2018 year in review. All right. The music might be a little loud. I do apologize in advance. Just adjust your volume accordingly. And let us begin. First, let's go back all the way to January 1st. I had 52,000 subscribers in January. My top 3 videos, Raven versus Cinder, the Persona video that came out like 3 weeks ago, and then obviously Best Girl Weiss. This is my year-to-year growth. This is crazy to me. This is fucking nuts to me. And then this is like the overall growth. And they left me a nice little letter. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna put this down because I feel like y'all can't hear me right now. But it says, "It's hard to believe that another year is in the books, but you've come out stronger." Hold on, let me start that over. Jesus. "It's hard to believe that another year is in the books, but you've come out stronger on the other side, and we have a feeling that you're still just getting started. Our mission at TubeBuddy is to help you reach your maximum potential on YouTube through innovative and time-saving tools. Let us be the first to toast Murder of Birds in 2019. May it be your best year yet. Cheers." So if you guys have a YouTube channel, you can go to this TubeBuddy year in review. They do this every year where they allow people to kind of post or I guess look at their growth over the last year. And yeah, it's super crazy how much I've grown this year alone. This is the biggest amount of growth that I've grown on my channel in the 5 years that I've been doing this, you know. So we're gonna switch back over here. It's on my second monitor right here, so we're gonna go through this together now. Really quick, Rosa Lopez, "You've grown so much, Arnold. We love your content. I look forward to your content every week. It helps my writing so much. Thank you for everything." Thank you so much for the support. I hope you guys look forward to, especially to like the rest of the videos that I have for RWBY, but also for 2019 in general. I'm gonna be a lot more disciplined with my time, especially so I can get more videos out. But very excited about that. All right, so let's see. William Pendragon, "Your channel truly has grown into something wonderful ever since I discovered you during RWBY Volume 3. Just wanted to say that I admire and I respect you. Never stop moving forward." Thank you so much, Will. Thank you very much, dude. I appreciate it. So yeah, 100K is like in my mind always. Whenever I see my channel growing, I'm like, we're so close, we're so close, we're so close. So I hope you guys can see it well on my... Oh, hold on. First off, let me take off my toolbar here so there's not a toolbar at the bottom there. Okay, there we go. So I hope you guys can see the top part really well. So again, these are my stats from January 1st of this year, 2018. On January 1st of this year, I had 52,000 subscribers flat. I was at 52,000 subscribers for the channel. I was sitting at 14.9 million overall views. So that's views across all of my videos over the 5 years. Actually, I think that's, yeah, views across all of my videos and my channel over the 5 years that I've been on YouTube. And I had a recorded 760 uploaded videos to the channel as well. And this like blew my fucking mind, how much I uploaded last year to how much I uploaded this year. And it's crazy to think about because I don't think about how much I upload, but there's 365 days in a year, and to think that 2/3 of that year I uploaded is crazy to think about, at least for me, because it doesn't feel like I'm doing that. It doesn't feel like I'm uploading as much as I am, or it does sometimes when I don't upload, like in 1 or 2 or 3 days, I feel like, oh my god, I'm not uploading. It feels like forever. And then you look at the metrics at the end of the year and it's crazy. But yeah, my top 3 my highest viewed videos from January 1st to now is the Cinder versus Raven reaction for the Volume 5 finale, which was in January of this year, which was such a freaking hype episode, and a really big one at the time. This one surprised me especially because this reaction came out like 2-3 weeks ago, max 3 weeks ago, and it almost has 200,000 views, and that's insane to me. Like, that's one of my most recent videos that I uploaded when the Game Awards happened a couple weeks ago. Actually, that was this month. So, oh wait, was it this month? Yeah, it was this month. It was literally 3 weeks ago, or about 3 weeks ago. So, Joker and Smash Bros, that was a huge one, something that blew up way bigger than I thought it would. And then the heartbreak of the year, I would say, is the debate of Weiss in Volume 5 that absolutely broke my heart and had me in freaking... I was a mess. Let's just leave it at that. But yeah, all 3 reactions, obviously. Those are the videos that get the most views on my channel, but 2 RWBY reactions and a Persona / Smash Brothers reaction, which is insane. And this one right here blows me away the most. So last year, 2017, I gained 16,700 subscribers. So from January 1st, 2017 to December 31st, 2017, 16,700 subscribers. This year, I gained 10,000 more subscribers than I did last year. So, I gained 26,700. So, I can't believe that in of itself. I didn't realize I grew that much. My channel grew bigger now than it did last year.
You well deserved with all the work you did.
Thank you.
Also, are you going to stream Super Smash Ultimate in the Holy Days?
Yes.
I missed the first stream.
Yes. I should be streaming Smash Brothers on Monday and Tuesday. So Monday and Tuesday, I'll be doing 1v1 matches with viewers for Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. So if you want to participate in those, be sure you're following the Twitch stream. The link should be in the description. But yeah, let's see. Hey Arnold, you've come so far. I'm so proud. I have a question. I'm planning on starting a RWBY reaction content channel myself. Do you think I should start with episode 1 of this volume? Any suggestions? See ya. Gemstone Networks Productions. I would say start at whatever episode you haven't seen. It's fine if you're gonna do reactions. I would definitely say focus on the latest content or the latest episode that you haven't seen, because that's the whole point of a reaction. Or that's the whole point of the concept of reactions. And, like, it's very easy. Like, if you want, you can, like, go back and, like, make reviews or opinionated videos on what you think of the volume so far, or a specific episode or something like that. But yeah, definitely, if you're planning on starting content for this volume. Also, there's going to be a break this week, so that's a great way to kind of get back into the second half of the volume, you know, when Chapter 9 comes out next Saturday. But yeah, so I gained 16,700 subscribers last year, and this year I gained 26,700. So the fact that I gained 26,000 subscribers, like, I need about, let's see, I need 22,000 subscribers to reach the big 100. So, like, if I'm able to continue my growth at the level that I am right now, or the level that I did in 2018, I can definitely have 100,000 subscribers by this time next year, which I'm really, really, really hoping for. That's like my primary goal, my primary mission, for 2019 is to grow the channel, diversify the content. Still going to be doing RWBY. I'm going to be finishing up, hopefully, RWBY seasons 10 through 13 next year. Obviously, Genlock is going to be a new venture. I'm still going to be focusing on gaming stuff. Kingdom Hearts should bring in a new audience as well, which is great. I want to get back into anime content, so that's an entire different genre and audience for that. But yeah, I'm so happy about the growth over the overall this year. Last year I had 6.75 million views across my channel. This year I had 9.9 to almost 10 million views across all of my videos this year, which is insane. But the one that blew me away the most, and I did this TubeBuddy comparison. So in 2016, I uploaded 161 videos. Last year, I uploaded 162, so I did one video better than the previous year in terms of uploading. I have no idea how I uploaded 234 videos. That is, I think, 2/3 of, that's, if I uploaded a video a day, that's 2/3 of the year that I uploaded videos, which is absolutely crazy to me. Absolutely insane to think that I uploaded 200 plus videos this year alone. But, I mean, because there were some weeks where I was, especially because I went on a big hiatus at the beginning of the year, right? After Volume 5 ended, I went on a big hiatus. I focused on gaming. I still uploaded, my Super Mario Odyssey playthrough and my Super Mario Odyssey playthrough and... what's the other one? Shadow of the Colossus, I uploaded that as well. God of War, I did as well. And I felt like I wasn't on par, especially at the early parts of the year, I felt like I wasn't on par with the amount of videos I was uploading, the previous year. But somehow I did it. I don't know how. But, when RWBY came out, I was uploading, 4 videos a week. At least 4 videos a week. I was uploading a reaction, a discussion, a shitpost video, and a theory video a week. And if it wasn't a theory video, it was an AMV. So, since RWBY has started to now, I think I've uploaded 3 to 4 videos a week, which is insane for me, especially. But, I mean, I'm proud. I'm so proud of the videos that I've done, and I feel like I deserve the growth now, as opposed to when I was growing and I was only uploading 1 reaction video a week. I feel a lot more ownership of the growth and the support that I have. And I'll tell you, I'll be the first one to tell you, I didn't feel like I deserved the hundreds and thousands of subscribers that I had during Volume 3. I was uploading 1 reaction a week, no editing necessary, and the people just, I guess, liked me for my personality, my emotions, my raw, genuine reaction to things. And now I feel like the content speaks to the audience a lot more than it did back then. So I'm just happy. I'm just proud of that more than anything. And that's something that I've always tried to do. I've always tried to make content that I could be proud of.
For content and entertainment. It made my work night go so much faster during the years I've watched you.
Nice.
Gotta go now though.
Okay.
Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. See you in the Discord. Oh, sorry for all the questions.
No. That's fine. I mean, that's what the whole point of the discussion is. But I appreciate more than anything your support, your content, your donations. Super generous of you, and I'm glad that the videos have helped you and anybody watching this, or people in general. You know, if it frees up you, if it frees up time of being bored, if you have no one else to talk to about RWBY, at the very least, I'm glad that my channel can be an outlet for you to talk with myself or other people in the chat. And overall, I'm just proud of what I've built over the last 5 years. And there was a point in time where my channel was dead. I didn't know where it was going to go. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I always knew that RWBY was something that I was always going to follow. And, I stuck to it, and it, I guess it paid off at the end of the day. So, thank you very much, Cloaked Onyx. You have yourself a great night. Happy holidays, and enjoy your happy new year. And I'll see you in 2019, buddy. Let's see. I have no idea. 234 videos. So, yeah. We jumped 26,700 subscribers. We're now at 78,700 subscribers. We're at 24 1.9 million overall views, and I'm 6 videos away from the 1,000 video upload, which is crazy. Absolutely insane. But like I said, I kind of want to make a more formal video of this year in review, because I feel like this is something that I definitely want to share with everybody. This stream was a lot smaller and a lot more contained than it usually is, and obviously it's not a reflection of the entire community of people who watch my videos. So I do want to make. Do I have something for 100K? I do. My plan, my video for 100,000 subscribers, I planned this, hold on. You guys are seeing my second monitor here. My plan for 100,000 subscribers, I planned it when I reached 1,000 subscribers on my channel. So, years and years and years ago, before any of you guys discovered who I was, I said in my head, like, I knew it wasn't going to happen. At the time especially, I was like, if I ever reach 100,000 subscribers, 5 years ago I said this, or 4 years ago roughly, I said if I ever reach 100,000 subscribers, this is the video I'm going to do. I know what the video is. The video is still growing, believe it or not. You guys don't know what that means, and it's going to be a very personal video. That's the biggest thing more than anything. I'm not going to give away anything. It's not going to be a trendy video. It's not going to be anything that you could probably expect of me. But it is going to be a super personal video of mine. I think it's going to be something that a lot of people will find interesting. I think it'll be somewhat entertaining and interesting. And I think a lot of you guys will learn a little bit more about me. Nothing bad, obviously, but you guys will definitely learn a thing or two that you probably didn't know about me prior. But I already know what the video is going to be. It's going to be, obviously I'm going to have 2 videos. I might do a 3-parter. I'm not sure. But, you know, because I've never done like a Q&A video. So like 100K video, I could probably do like a Q&A. Obviously I want to do the silver play button, or the silver play button plaque, because once you reach 100,000 subscribers, you can apply for a play button, and that's going up on the wall somewhere. That's gonna be like that's probably gonna be like my biggest accomplishment in life, because like I don't have like a diploma or anything, so I can't like show that off for like accomplishments that I've made in my life. So the next best thing is 100,000 subscribers over 6 years. By that point, 6 years will have passed on my channel. So yeah, I think Kaylin's the only person who knows what it is, because I mentioned it to her one day. Yeah, don't tell anybody, obviously, but yeah, I think it'll be a video that a lot of you guys will like, and it's going to be super personal. It's going to predate, a lot of it's going to predate my channel especially, and I think you guys will enjoy it. But with all that said, that has been the RWBY Volume 6, Chapter 8 live stream discussion. I definitely want to thank all of you guys again for tuning in for an amazing 2018. This is also the last live stream discussion of the year. So I will see you guys on January 3rd, I believe. Let me double check that really quick. January 3rd will be when the next live stream discussion for Chapter 9 shows up, or happens rather. There will not, again, like I said, tomorrow my reaction to Chapter 8 will go up, but there will not be a new RWBY chapter until the 29th. So if you're not a first member, Chapter 8 comes out tomorrow, but if you are a first member, you will not get a chapter until the 29th. So at the very least, you'll have a week to kind of focus on the holidays, friends and family, your own, you know, your own agenda or your own plans and stuff like that, and not have to worry about, you know, tuning into a video. I might still put something out over the week. I'm obviously going to take my time and take a break because it is the holidays, and I've I uploaded 234 videos this year. God damn it, I deserve a break. Now I'm just kidding. But no, I had a blast. It's been fun. 3 hours also. The stream we just passed 3 hours. But again, I just want to say thank you guys so much for the support in 2018. I hope you guys continue. to look forward to the reactions, the live discussions, the shit posts, the theories, the reviews whenever those come out, and everything else. Obviously, streaming is going to be a big thing next year. Kingdom Hearts 3, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. I plan on streaming the Halo games on Twitch. So gaming is going to be a big thing. Persona 5 and Breath of the Wild content, I want to start uploading those to the channel during the off season of RWBY. So there's going to be a little bit more gaming stuff on the YouTube channel than previously. But I hope you guys enjoy it all the same. Also, Dan, have a happy holidays, I'm sorry, Arnold. Jesus Christ. I just called myself my own username, but no. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, and Dashy, it'll be your birthday. That's so cool. Happy early birthday again. But yeah, X-Blades playthrough. Shut up. Nah. No. We don't do that out here. We don't play bad JRPGs. But anyways, with all that said, I'm gonna be heading out for the rest of the night. Again, you guys have a happy holidays. Enjoy your fresh start into 2019. Be sure to have those goals, reach those aspirations. I'm playing a lot of Beat Saber. I'm getting a lot more fit. My arms are super sore, and I'm having a blast, but no pain, no gain, as they say. So, again, thank you guys very much for the support. I love you guys very much. Have a safe holiday. Have a safe new year. And I will see you guys in the next live discussion. Take care. Bye.